Welcome, everyone. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing okay. Sure, there's a lot of talk, a lot of what's going on with the glare. Is he okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I'm not. You know, you know what I mean? Like, but Jesus, already idiots in my chat. Anyway, so I mean, it didn't take Bitch Boy very long to come on here and sadly beg for relevance the way that he did. And here's the thing about that, though. I kind of love it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do him a solid. I'm gonna make him relevant. I'm gonna make him my little mascot. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make, like I said, I'm gonna make him my little mascot since he's just so desperate, and since he has to use my content for his own content because he has nothing relevant to say or has no brains. So I mean, sports time machine, you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me at all. Let me say hello to everybody real quick before I continue. I did not plan on going live tonight. But so they're like, where's Cherry K and Lufa? I don't know. I hope they come. Evelyn, Nicole Venditti. Nicole retracted her statement earlier. I saw that. I saw you. She was like, first. No, you weren't. Evelyn was. But thank you anyway. Lona Love, Patty Wack, Miranda Love, Sherry YouTube, Giaco Mia. What's up, girl? Bobby Pin, Mary Scott, Mary Quite Contrary, Mama Jane Star, Katie K, Sarah Vochik, Sophia Mama of 3, Stella Beth, Tara Boomhauer, Tara Boomhauer. Hi, Tara Boomhauer. How are you? Jeremy M, my man. Ooh la la Lisa. Perfectly Imperfect, Flower Child 66, A-Gate, Inma Gallardo. Oh, that's my washing machine, guys. Sorry about that. I've got a big load in there. Hold on. Aaron Thurman, how are you? That's funny. So yeah. I've always been very candid about the fact that I struggle with depression and anxiety, and sometimes it's just really, really bad. So last night, it wasn't a cry for help or anything like that. It was just I wanted to. It was an experimental thing to go live when it was actually at my low. I like to think that you guys watch this channel because you get a genuine side of me. You get things about me. This is why I love Save Robbie too, because Save Robbie does this. Save Robbie is very, very candid on his channel, and he's very, very open about his struggles and his life experiences and things of that nature. I don't know if I feel as comfortable being as open as Save Robbie is. But I respect the hell out of him for being brave enough to be that way. And I figured I would just, go live and it's important to me. It's such an important issue because I feel like so many people who struggle with suicidal thoughts, I feel like people who do that, they're so ashamed, and then you never know that there's something wrong with them, and then before you know it, they're gone. This is a very common thing, and so and I was just in a really, really low place last night, and it happens to me all the time. But usually when that happens, I'm like, there's no way I'm going live tonight. And then last night I was like, you know what? Maybe it'll be an educational thing. Maybe it'll be good. And it turned out to be a real good stream. I took it down because I prefer not to have that video up of me being in such a low place. But I thought it was a great live, despite Bitch Boy's attempts to troll the way that he did. Mr. Nutt, I hadn't talked to him in forever, and he joined my panel, and it was really, really great to talk to him and see him again. That girl showed up on my panel, and it's nice to have patched things up with her to a certain degree. I'm sure, you know, I don't know if we'll ever be like we were before. But I gave her back her wrench because she's a great wrench. And I think that we're clear on boundaries that we've set with each other. And I would rather not have that type of dynamic with people if I can help it. I don't think she's a bad person in the slightest bit. I think she's a very great person. I just, we had a lot of differences. And so, and nothing that has taken place, in my opinion, is unforgivable. So, I was just glad that she actually came into my panel yesterday, and we got to talk and have a nice conversation like we always used to. So that was really a blessing. It really was. And see, Jilly, that's what it's all about to me. That's what I was hoping to do is there's so many of us out there that struggle with this, but I want to set the example that it's not an excuse to hurt yourself. And it's not an excuse to do something that's going to break the hearts of people that care about you. And since I'm in a better mood, it's easier for me to explain it. So the reason why it was kind of a bad idea to go live is because I was just not in a place in my head to where I could be, you know, the glarer here. You know what I mean? I just wasn't. And it was great because I didn't expect what happened to happen, and everybody had a really nice time. And I got really supportive, kind messages from people today. But you know, like I said last night, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to act on these things. I just wanted to make it known that this is something that I struggle with. I found a way to manage it. I found methods to manage it. And I hope to inspire people to do the same thing who struggle with the same thing. I like to say that I struggle with depression. You hear me use that word a lot. What you won't hear me say is that I suffer from depression or I suffer from anxiety. You will never hear me say that because I refuse to allow myself to suffer from it. Struggling is different. You know, it's a war in your head. You're when you struggle with depression, if I say that I suffer from depression, what it does, it's psychologically undertoned that it beat me, that it's beating me. I refuse to tell myself that it's beating me. I refuse to tell myself that it's winning, if that makes any sense. So that's why I choose the word struggle. And I look different today because I got my hair did. That also puts me in a good mood. You know, I went to the barber. I found a barber. You know what it's like when you finally find a barber you know, that just is, you know, I don't, I'm sure the ladies, you have a hairdresser that you feel perfectly comfortable with, and you just feel like $1,000,000 when you walk out of there. That's how I felt today. Like that's one of those things. I have to do something nice for myself. I have to exercise. And it helps me with my mood. And oh, thanks, Mama Jane Star. Yeah, man. JW hooked me up. That's his name. Dude's name is JW. Cool dude. And he like, you know, and he does the hot towel, you know, on your face, and the hot shaving cream back here. He takes the straight razor and hooks it up. Yeah. So I made this appointment like Friday. And you know, I don't know where Cherry K is, guys. I posted in Discord this live, so all my Patreons who looked at Discord know that I'm live. So I'm glad everyone understands that last night was not about, it wasn't about sad fishing, and it wasn't about you know, crying for help or getting attention, you know, or anything like that. It was more about it was coming from a place of me paying more attention to you. I was in a place where it was real bad, and I go through this sometimes, and I guess I wanted to document it, and I wanted to share it with the people who support me the way that you guys do, because I guess I sit up here and I for some reason my opinion is valuable to you guys, and I'm grateful for that. So this is something that really is really prominent in my life, and it's caused not being able to manage it properly, has caused me to make a lot of bad decisions in my life. And thank you, Elizabeth Me, for letting us know. Appreciate that. So Cherry K's she's okay. She's taking a little break. But last night really was not for me. It was for anyone out there that struggles with this, because when you have these thoughts, when you have suicidal thoughts, it's not an option. I made this point last night where I truly believe that pain is an energy. Everything has an energy to it, and pain is an energy, and energy does not die ever. So when you commit suicide, it does not end your pain. What it does is it transfers your pain onto your loved ones. Now your pain is your loved one's burden to carry, and that is not okay. It's not fair. Like, yeah, it's your life. Sure. I believe that if you are terminally ill, you have the right to die with dignity if you want to. Sure, you're terminally ill. You're going to die anyway. But when it comes to struggling with hard times, you don't get to do that. It's extremely selfish, and you have to realize that it's also just pain, you know. Yeah, did we get a bum deal for having these, you know, this chemical imbalance in our heads to where we just get bummed out for absolutely no reason whatsoever? Sure, you know, but it is what it is. You have it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I'm not trying to compare the two, but I mean, if you have, you know, somebody who has a disability, you know, somebody who has a disability, because I don't believe depression is a disability, but when someone has a disability, they don't go, I'm just going to end my life. Sometimes they think about it and they talk about it, but most of the time it's something that makes them stronger, and it's something that they learn to use to their advantage in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Ooh la Lisa, you're saying I can deal with the pain, but I struggle with the fear. That's also true. That's another thing. I don't scare easily. I don't get afraid of things very easily at all anymore. I think I've experienced so much that I realize that, like, being afraid of something is almost arbitrary. Feeling fear about something is almost arbitrary, because it just doesn't do anything, especially if it's about something that you can't do anything about, right? That's where acceptance in the glare comes in. You just accept the things that you can't change, and it's okay to do that, and then you work with it, you work around it. KDK, that means a lot to me. See, this is why I do this. Yeah, no. What you choose to do is how you handle your depression. Maybe they're wording it wrong, but I will say that you're accountable for how you handle it. Absolutely. And I want to make it clear, guys, I'm not a mental health professional in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a guy who struggles with this. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's see. Miss Nay. I struggle with these thoughts all the time. When I was in a psych unit with my then newborn son, the psychiatrist told me that if a parent suicides, the odds of the child doing the same is over 50%. I did not know that. That's shocking. That is a shocking statistic. I've never heard that before. I'm going to have to confirm if that's true, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I refer to these bad thoughts, and I refer to these things as demons, not in the literal sense, not in the sense that, like, Mexi uses the word demons. It's just a figure of speech that I use. And I look at it like I'm always, I have to keep it's like keeping your demons in a pen, like cows. You know what I mean? You have to rustle them up. You have to keep them rustled up and put away somewhere. And that is managing them. That is putting them where they go in here somewhere, to where they don't control you. And that's a difficult thing to do. But there are many different methods for everybody. It's different. But for me, it's exercise. And it's coming on here and talking to you guys. It's my job. I love my job. Right now, I'm having problems at work. That's kind of helps trigger these things. But I actually put my 2 weeks notice in at work yesterday. So that had a lot to do with it. And I simply did it because I just don't feel like I'm as appreciated there as I feel I should be. I've been there 2 years. I give them everything I've got. I work whenever they need me to work. I'm always reliable. I'm always there. Sometimes I have to work 2 or 3 people's jobs as well as mine. And I feel I should be getting compensated for that, or considered for an upper management, not an upper management position, but a better management position. Or at least, hey, just Larry, thanks, man. Appreciate you, bud. Or at least, a sales position. put me in a position to where I'm making commission and I'm going to make my own money. You better believe I'm going to hustle, you know? So, and they're talking to me like some of the people are talking to me like, well, you need to work on this and you need to work on that. Really mundane, stupid things. You know what I mean? Where I have 10 years of management experience myself, so I know when they're just giving you, the idea is to continue to pay the same rate, yet try to get them to work even harder. And that's the mindset of management when they do that. And I'm onto it. And I was like, dude, like, come on. Jilly, thank you. I appreciate you. Exactly, Giacomo. So I just feel unappreciated. I feel as though I've earned at least a pay raise, at least some sort of acknowledgement that I'm appreciated. There is what I think. I just don't feel appreciated, and what's really funny is all of my immediate supervisors agreed with me, and I spoke to them very candidly today. They spoke to me. I'm going to speak to, I think, the human resources manager from corporate in the morning. And hopefully we'll work something out, because I don't want to quit. I love the job, but I don't need it. I can get a job like that anywhere. That's my point. You know what I mean? I have 10 years management experience. I can go. The people don't want to work right now. There's jobs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know why they're giving me such a hard time, because literally everybody is showing me support there except for upper management. Literally everybody is like, yeah, like, this is crazy. And everybody's quitting. The staff's just dropping like flies. Everyone's quitting. And I don't want to be that. I want to be one of the people that stay there and help the company grow and get better. And I'm not even being viewed like I can do that. And it's just simply because they don't even bother to look at my past history and really actually evaluate my job performance. I know everybody who comes in there on a first name basis. I talk to everybody. I engage everyone. And I don't do it because it makes me better at my job. I do it because I genuinely like the people that come into the club. I do it because I genuinely love my job, not because it is my job. So, yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I got to do something here. So, knock on wood, my internet has not dropped, which is great. If you notice, I am not in a squeaky chair anymore. My living situation is a little different at the moment. But it's great, because my lighting situation is a bit better. I don't have the shadows behind me. Green screen, everything's working out real nice. The intro, guys, I realize that it's choppy, not because of the internet. It's choppy because of the way that it uploaded onto my computer from when I emailed it to myself. So I have to figure out a way. I think the file was too big, and that's why it's all choppy. So I think that's what happened, as far as that goes. But Sorry, give me just 1 second here, guys. Dude, you could totally hear my washing machine like draining and everything. Okay. Why would anybody think that I'm feuding with Annie? The high command. Who told you I was feuding with Annie? Annie, as a matter of fact, texted me this morning just to see if I was doing okay. So yeah, I don't know where people get this weird information from. Whatever. People are ridiculous on here, man. I swear. Jessica Shades, you mean this design that I use on my green screen? This design, it's just something that I've been using for my channel since I started. I like the contrast of I don't even know what that's supposed to be. I guess it's a hot versus cold. I don't know. I thought it looked cool, so I started using it. Yeah, no, me and Annie are cool. She'll probably be pissed that I didn't tell her that I was going live, but yeah, like a fire and ice kind of thing, more or less, I guess. Aaron Thurman, yeah. Mustang Sally, welcome. Are me and my puppers fighting? Are me and my puppers fighting? You mean like the dogs that I live with? I don't know. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out tonight a little bit. I have not really been following any updates in the true crime community, even though I'm kind of a true crime channel. I know that there were murder charges brought on Lori and Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, whatever. They're married. But yeah, I'm happy that murder charges were brought on for the. I don't have the details in front of me right now, but Vanessa R, thanks. Yeah, I loved that panel. I was very, very happy to get to talk to Mr. Nutt and that girl again. And I mean, and you know, bitch boy coming on here, man. Like he just did exactly what he does. He did exactly. That's why I let him on. Do you think I'm dumb? I let him on because I knew exactly what he was going to do. And I knew that he was going to look like a complete and total ass in front of everyone. And he was going to make an ass of himself. I just knew that. So that's why I let him on. He's perfectly predictable. I did not hear that there was a search team for the West Boys. I'm glad to hear that. I hope they find them alive. But I mean, we know how these things can go. So, you know, let's keep our prayers handy. Yeah, just Larry. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's so funny to me. The only way this guy can get even close to 600 views on a video is by using my name. You know, I mean, this guy has almost 15,000 subs and he can't even get for the most part, 200 to 300 people to even watch his videos. When I stop this live, I'll already have 500. By tomorrow, I'll have 1,000. You know, and it's not even, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not bragging. I'm tearing him down. Like, to me, I'm just grateful to have that many. But and if I had just that many on him, you know, as him, I'd just be grateful for it. What I wouldn't be doing is being all pissy about it and trashing everyone else and being mad at the world and throwing a little temper tantrum every time just because he's not getting the views that he used to get, because people are on to him. People see what he does. They see what he's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious. I mean, it's the same thing every time. It's the same thing. Yeah, man. You know what? I'm high. I'm just high, people. And I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell everybody how shitty they are. I'm gonna tell everybody what they should be doing with their channel and what they shouldn't be doing with their channel, because they nasty, fam. They nasty, fam. I'm gonna go, guys, because I gotta smoke some weed and I gotta jerk off to an episode of the Powerpuff Girls. So I'll see y'all later. Bye. That's a bitch boy live stream right there, in a nutshell. Right. Fam. Shut the fuck up. I mean, yeah. The dude like has no like, and the people that support him are just as bad. You know, this. I mean, I he's so obviously pathetic. He's so obviously pathetic. Like, you know, he doesn't have a job. Like, go get a job, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just tell by the things that he chooses to engage is that of somebody who doesn't have a job. Like, get a job, dude. Like, I promise you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And anything, just get a job. Any job that pays practically nothing. That's what I did. I don't need luxuries, dude. I don't need luxuries. I have a couple of beers when I get off work. I don't need luxuries. You know? Like, luxuries are nice, you know, but I don't need them. You know what I mean? But the value of having a job and working for what I do have is priceless. Like, I love that. I feel good about myself when I do that. Do I get down on myself for having made bad decisions where I can't get a really high paying job? Maybe. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes. Sure. But I take pride in the fact that I have a job. I take pride in the fact that I love my job. I take pride in the fact that I love everybody in my job. I mean, yeah, tart with a heart, you're right. Like, bitch boy couldn't even pass a drug test. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you anything that quitting weed for a month to pass a drug test for a job is completely out of the question for this guy. Completely and totally out of the question. It's not even an option. It's not even an option. Like, I mean, what is, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's paying his bills and they're pissed about it. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you somebody is paying bitch boy's bills and they're like sick of it. They're just, I mean, I could just picture this dude talking to his mom. Like he probably lives with his grandma or something. You know what I mean? Like, like it's so pathetically obvious how pathetic he is. You know? So all I had to do was just let him on and let him talk, and he showed what he was and what he is. And then he goes and makes a video, all huffing and puffing. The glare, sad fishing. I mean, like, and like, nobody cares. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares about anything you're saying. I'm telling you, dude, just like, dude, find YouTube videos that are like instructional comedy videos and then like troll them. Right? Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to write this guy's ticket for him. You know what I mean? And he yeah, just dude. Hey fam, the glare is sand fishing. Yeah, I knew exactly what he was gonna do. Like, what's, and it doesn't hurt me none at all. Like when he makes videos about me, I love it. I love it because that's one or two people that have never heard of me that are gonna come check me out. And if they want to hate, they can hate. I mean, they're just gonna get blocked in chat when they troll. You know what I'm saying? But sure, up my ad revenue. That's fine. that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And he totally projects. It's so funny. Get off my nuts. Like, dude, I didn't show up on your panel. I don't make videos about you. I don't tag your name in my videos. Why would I do that? He's completely predictable. Yeah. I mean, I won't build my channel on hate views, but I'll take hatred if it's for something that I feel strong conviction about. You know, if I express my opinion about something that I feel very strongly about and that brings out hate, well, I mean, it is what it is. Not everybody's going to like what you have to say. And if you're saying something that everyone likes, you're probably not saying anything worth listening to. If you're saying something that everyone agrees with, you're probably not saying anything worth listening to. That's always been my philosophy. Oh, he's clearly a gaslighter. I mean, and he's not even good at it. He's not even good at it. Like, he has a method of manipulation, but now that everyone's onto it, he's like, he has nothing he can do. You can smell bitch boy coming a mile away. Like, it must really suck. It must really suck to like have that awareness have to sink into your head that nobody cares. Because you've given us no reason to respect you or like you. None. This guy's done nothing productive. He argues with people, but he does it simply to argue. He doesn't have any feelings behind anything. He doesn't believe in anything. Hey, Aaron's here. I'm slowly developing a little crush on Aaron. I'm not even trying to lie, y'all. Like, she's fantastic. Aaron emailed me about somebody today that I don't think she's really aware of. I think she's just recently made aware of. I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring that person's name up. But she And her reaction was just priceless. It was really funny. I laughed when I read your email today, Aaron. I did because that person is absolutely insane. It's okay. Hold on. Look at this troll. Look at this troll. Look at the troll. Look at the troll. The Glarer Magoo. Great name, by the way. First of all, and nobody threatened suicide. I did exactly the opposite. And I was so clear about it last night and so clear about it today that you would have to be a fucking idiot to take that like I was threatening suicide and not take that and I was doing the exact opposite, which was saying that I have these thoughts, admitting that I have these thoughts, and saying that there is never an excuse to act on them. Never an excuse to act on them. That's exactly what the entire point was. So, I mean, these are the kinds of statements that you get from somebody who goes and develops a fake name, right? And like, who, like, dude, how do you have the time? There's no way that person has a job. There's no way that person has a job. There's no way that somebody with a job takes the time to create a fake Google account to simply troll a chat. Thank you, Jeremy M. Appreciate you, man. Like, there's no way you got a job. There's no way that you're not somebody else's problem. I can't put that any better. I guarantee that person is someone else's problem. I guarantee you that person is absolutely a burden to someone. Only someone who would be a burden to other people would have the time and inclination to do something that lame. Don't even give them that much energy, Linda Lou. Don't even give them that much energy. Like, because then it almost makes it worth it for them to actually go and, the Glarer Magoo, I'm going to make that name and I'm going to find that avatar and use the picture. And blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, you like need somebody to tell you that you love you. But here's the thing. Nobody's probably telling you that they love you because you don't give them any reason to love you. You don't. You probably don't. Like I said, you're probably just a burden. You're probably the kind of person, I'm willing to bet that they're the kind of person who like, I always use this. The kind of person who, when they walk into a room, right? Like the mood shifts completely. Like everyone there has to exhale real hard. Have you ever noticed that? You know, everybody in this chat knows somebody like this. If you're not somebody like this, I hope you're not. But everybody knows somebody like this who walks into a room, and as soon as they walk into a room, all the people in it go simultaneously because they just sucked all the energy out of the room with their mere presence. Like, dude, everybody knows somebody like this. Everybody knows somebody like this. Like, thinking about them right now makes you sigh, makes you go, you know, because just the thought of them drains you. The thought of them drains you. Imagine what it's like to live with somebody like that. Imagine what it's like to live with somebody who has the inclination and time to create a fake profile just to troll somebody. somebody is like, yeah, somebody is that person is someone's problem. There's nobody in that person's life that's worth a shit that is like, man, I'm so happy they're in my life. And you know why I can laugh at this? Because I used to be that guy. I used to be that person. I was pissed off at the world, and I just did not care. I felt entitled to making other people miserable because I was miserable. That's the kind of person I used to be. And I'm not proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I'm no longer that. I'm proud of the fact that I decided to stop feeling sorry for myself and start feeling like it's time to just work on self-improvement. How do I become a better person? Dude, is Charles Bronson in my chat? Charles Bronson? See, that's a cool troll name, but you ain't trolling. You're F them. They're not worth it. Don't give them the oxygen. We know people like that are alone and hate their lives. That's true. That's true. In fact, one might even think they have a death wish. Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did there? I'm the cleverest mother. I'm just kidding. That was stupid. And dude, like depression is one of those things. It's really like sometimes it gets really, really bad. And then the next day, like today, I'm in a good mood. I think getting my hair cut and talking with my immediate supervisor, I think, these things made my day better, made me feel better. As a matter of fact, going live last night started my road to feeling better today. And the difference between my mood then and my mood right now began from going live and talking with you guys and hanging out with you guys. See, Aaron. See, that's Aaron's in my head, dude. Like, Aaron's in my head. Like, I think I'm developing a little crush on Aaron. I'm not gonna lie. She's just too cute. She is. She's super smart, right? You watch her videos. She's super smart. She's really empathetic, but she doesn't put up bullshit. She'll call you out on it, but she's really empathetic, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah, Mr. Nut totally did that, man. I had a blast with Mr. Nut last night, man. It was just so cool to talk to him, and it was just so cool that like just have him on the channel again. I missed paneling with that dude. I love paneling with that dude. Nicole Venditti. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. See, I can't ever hook up with Aaron, because what's gonna happen if I hook up with Aaron? Like, yeah, I'm just gonna become totally obsessed with her. Which is not true. I'm too lazy. Like, I don't understand people who get like that. Like, if somebody doesn't like you, just that's okay. Like I can't. I don't understand that. I don't understand people who get mad at somebody because they don't like them. Like, that's not my problem. If somebody doesn't like me, that's just not my problem. That's how I see that. I don't see it like, why don't you like me? I look at it like, dude, okay, well, that's not my problem. It's absolutely your problem. If you have a problem with me, by definition, that is your problem. Dude, listen. Any woman that I end up with is gonna have to understand that they come second to Amber Heard. It's just the way that is. They come second to Amber Heard. Amber Heard always comes first. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and K too, Nicole Kessinger. Yeah, like this is the thing. Listen, any woman that I end up in a serious relationship, I'm probably going to end up married, right? If we end up married, right, you have to understand that it's going to be a polygamous relationship with Nicole Kessinger if the opportunity arises. You have to share me with Nicole Kessinger. That is a stipulation in our marriage. You understand? All right. So NK, if you're listening, okay. I know she's a freak. I know NK's a freak. All right. I know she's a freak. I know she'll hang out with girls. You know, we could like scope out girls together. I know NK's like that. Hell yeah. Me and NK, we'd be awesome. But yeah, if we're getting married, that's stipulations in our marriage. Okay. In our marriage contract, the stipulation that if the opportunity arises for NK to join us in our 3-person relationship, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Okay. Okay. Dude, I'm going to be single forever. That's the plan. What do you think I'm fucking talking about right now? That's the idea. Dude, all this baggage, y'all don't want this baggage. I promise. Y'all don't want this baggage. You sure don't. I'm going to open the panel up. We're going to hang out a little bit tonight. All right? And I want someone new. Unless it's Aaron. Aaron can absolutely come up here. But I want someone new to click on the link and join me on here. I love you too, Mama Jane Star. Just Larry should come up here, man. I don't think I've ever talked to Just Larry. Just Larry's got a channel, dude. Come up here and promote your channel, dude. Let's get you some let's get you some love, bro. Let's get you some love, bro. Good night, Bobby Pin. And yo, Giaco Mia, she makes me feel some kind of way. I ain't even trying to lie. You see how fine she is? Like I see her in chats, and then she sends me little devil smiling emojis, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. She's too fine. She's sending me stuff like that. Oh, hell no. This is not happening right now. What's up, dude?
Yo, what up, fam? That's what I'm saying, fam.
Jesus, that's such a
What's up?
jackass.
Oh my god, dude, you have no idea. I wanted to jump through the screen when I rewound that and saw that. I don't even want to give him the airtime right now, but it was bad. It was just that got lower than anything I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, right? Like he's just he's lower than an opportunist.
I mean,
You
it
know?
proved 100%. Look, I get it. They're like comedians say that's their gig. I'm a comedian. This is what we do.
But he's not a
That's
comedian,
not who we
and
are.
he's not funny.
No, he's not funny. He's not a comedian or
So
anything.
when
But even
if
if that
you
was
are a
his gig,
comedian,
he proved right away that that's not his gig. That's who you are, dude. You are a POS. And you
absolutely.
came onto a panel where even if he hates your guts, I don't care. My worst enemy is going through something like that. There's no way I'm kicking them while they're down. Not to mention
Yeah,
there was a large group of us in the chat that were appreciative of what you were doing and the conversation that we were all having amongst ourselves and with you. And for him to come in
yeah,
and do that,
because I feel like, you know, I want this chat. One thing I love about this channel, the thing that I love most about this channel is the element of subscriber that I have. So what happens is these people all talk and get along, and it's always productive. You could tell a lot. I feel like a creator is defined by his chat or her chat. You know, when
right?
you see a chat that's just being hateful and ugly and crappy, that's a reflection of that creator, in my personal opinion. Um, and I don't have that in my chat. Annie doesn't have that in her chat. You don't seem to have that in your chat. I haven't seen you live in a while, but
No, I've actually, yeah, I took a little break for the past week and a half, just because of all
right
the
on.
same drama. Like I'm brand new, and I didn't have any experience with who's who, and you get these messages, and I'll be honest, I get a million people stay away from the glittery there, and I'm like, look, guys,
Oh,
that's
sure.
not me. My 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 experience has been nothing but positive. His chat, his people in the chat, they're always welcoming. He goes on later at night where I can have fun. Sometimes, it's serious conversation. Like last night, sometimes we just have fun in there. And there's
Yeah,
no
that's
reason.
what
There's
tonight
no
is.
reason for me to judge. Yeah, it's crazy out there in this world, though, man. I wish I talked to you, several months ago because I probably could have avoided a lot of the crap
The thing
I've
is
gone through.
people
But
look at me like
I got
I
thick
get
skin, thank God.
right. I get comments sometimes, saying, something along the lines of, well, look at all the creators that you have problems with and blah, 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 and that speaks volumes about you. And that's fair. That's fair. But the thing is I can honestly say that the people that I've had problems with, the creators that I've had problems with, were doing something very wrong. And I probably called them out on it. Much like what you did with CK.
Right.
You see something and you feel strongly about it, you speak up on it. And that's always been the case with me. I don't want to name names but it's messed up. It's like
Yeah.
there's one creator that I absolutely adore. His content's a little different, but it's great content. And I consider him a friend, and he had someone on his panel, and I'm a wrench for his channel, but he had someone on his panel that I had a problem with a couple years ago, but I looked at it like, well, I'm just gonna, I'm wrenching his chat, you know what I mean? Like, because this guy's got some haters, and I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy at all. The guy he had on his channel, I don't like the guy. He did me real dirt. And so, and I haven't messed with him. And then I saw him on a creator's channel that I love. And all I can do is look at it like, well, that's his decision, and that's cool. And whatever's happening is happening. I felt no need to message him and say, oh, well, you don't know what happened here and blah, 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 blah. He has a right to have his own experience with this person. and it's not fair for me to set up that mental image. What happened between me and that person was personal, you know,
Right.
and there's no reason to make it someone else's problem. But that's the way that I look at things. You know, I might have problems with other creators in the sense that like I don't fuck with them no more. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I don't wish any harm on them, you know, or anything like that. I don't put forth the energy of hating them, or you know what I mean? And it's not even a question of forgiving them or what. There's nothing to forgive. It's like stuff happened. I see you now, and we don't rock.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
just
it.
move on. Leave it.
Right.
The only creator I've had.
That's all it is.
Only creator I consider myself to have had a problem with was CK, and that was because of a specific case that I felt it went beyond creating. It went to they inserted themselves into the case and were doing some advocacy on behalf of people that were suspects. And some of this, you know, I'm not going to go into it, but you know, some of the stuff that went on.
Well,
That's
something that happens with her on a constant basis. I had the same issue with her with the Sophie case. I had,
I didn't know this.
People had problems with her with the Watts case, the Watts case especially. And you know what I mean? This is just that's her shtick. You know what I mean? What she does.
I wish I knew that. If I knew that, I would have never engaged.
She finds the most controversial way to perceive something and then expresses it on her channel. And people buy into the controversy and they get mad and they get angry because she doesn't care. The truth is she doesn't care. She will hurt people. You know, I've seen it. She's done it to me.
I've learned that we've been working behind the scenes on stuff. Like I'm talking, I've gone all out with, you know, lawyers. I put my money where my mouth is. And that's why I've been quiet. I've told everybody I'm not going to go on my channel and bash anyone. I'm not going to do these things. I mean, but gosh, they basically tried to cancel me for everything. I mean, and ultimately what it's boiled down to is with all the people that hated me at this moment, you know, for those couple of weeks, they would have done anything. And the worst that they had on me was basically a Larry Zamini, and then that I sang a rap song. And God forbid, I said, you know, all right.
I heard something about that you used that. When I heard that story, I actually laughed because the same thing actually happened to me at a job where I was working. I was singing a Kanye West song, and this was when I realized, because I was in the mindset. I was in the mindset that if I'm quoting lyrics to a song that's already written, then it's okay, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what my friends told me.
It's not me expressing an opinion in any way whatsoever. But I had some people of color as coworkers, and one of them, of course, is like, "Oh, I can't believe you just said that," you know, just to rile things up, right? But somebody else made it a point to tell me, and this is somebody I respected very much, and she said, you never say that word. It's never okay to say that word under any circumstances whatsoever. If it's in a song, don't sing the song. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's an ugly word, and it's not okay for anybody to use it, in my opinion. And when she said that, I took that to such heart, and that word under any context whatsoever has never came out of my mouth again.
And I agree. I had the similar conversation with some of my friends, and you know, I told people, you know, I grew up in the inner city. Like I was probably the only white person, but again, that doesn't give me any kind of pass. So I am making notes. So I talked to some friends. I showed them, and like one of my friends, this dude,
even though your intention wasn't to hurt anyone, it may have, you know. So it merits an apology. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did, and I apologize to anyone.
Right.
I explained my upbringing and all that, but I also, you know, like I said, I talked to my friend. He's like, dude, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Nobody goes, however, He goes, you ain't going to win this argument nowadays online.
You're
So
not.
you're not going to be able to, they don't know you. They didn't grow up with you. You know, it ain't a huge deal, but you got to tell, you know, just say you're sorry for anyone and then move on. And I did. And
Right.
I'm good with it.
Right.
And
Because the point is that it's a sensitive thing that people have a right to not have to hear. You know what I mean? That's one of those things. It's not, and I'm like that when it comes to anything hate speech related. You know, I it's weird. I'm against censorship, but when it comes to things regarding hate speech, I don't know. You know, because I've never actually been a victim of a hate crime. You know, and so I don't think it's fair for me to assume how a victim of a hate crime can be triggered or feel when they hear hate speech.
right.
You know,
And I have to hold myself to the same standards. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, most people, and I don't like to get into my politics, but I mean, people can look it up because I've lived my life in the public eye, being that I was, you know, formerly in office and got in so young.
what are you? Democrat, Republican?
I'm a Democrat by I'm a Democrat by registration. However,
Okay.
I was always in politics. I fought with my own party more than anyone else because they didn't like. Here in New York, we have multiple parties, third parties. So we have the Conservative Party is a big party here. They usually go with the Republicans, of course. But every year I was a legislator, I was ranked #1 by the Conservative Party. So my own party got mad at me. They didn't like it. And I'm like, well, guys, I'm sorry. I'm an independent, you know, basically. But
Right.
registration wise, yes, I'm a Democrat. But I also, though, on social issues, I was right out there. I'll tell you, I was there in Rochester with the big protest for BLM and things like that. And I have to hold, if I'm out there, and this is my life's work, because I did grow up in the inner city. My district that I got elected in was basically 75% minority district. So when I won, I was the first uh, white person that was representing the area in over 30 years. So
Wow.
I have to hold myself accountable. And that's why I say to everyone, I'm not making excuses. I'm explaining my life experiences, but I'm not making excuses. I said, if I offended someone with it, I'm sorry. It was a song that I grew up with. I loved it. DMX had just passed away. I was in the middle of having a fun opening to my show, and I was singing along with the song. And like an idiot, yes, I sang the words. No biggie. I mean, I apologize, but you know, my point is
The thing is
that's the best they
and
have.
you're gonna piss someone off if you're on a YouTube channel. There's somebody you're gonna piss off. Dude, just my presence pissed people off. I before I even came on here, I had 2 dislikes. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that I exist pisses people off. So
Well, I don't even, you know,
Mr.
honestly, I don't
Nut
even
is
think it
in
was
the
what
house, man. It's good to see you, man.
if I wasn't fighting with CK, and then after that another creator attacked me because I spoke out against Lana's trial that everyone was giving. You know, I tried to get people. Stupid me. Again, I'm brand new to this, so I don't know what I was thinking I could come in and somehow change Watts Island, you know. And I thought like I could get I thought I could get everybody
Yeah.
to
My YouTube
unite.
advice, get off Watts Island. Stay the hell away from it. Stay the
That's
hell away
what
from it. It's a closed
a
case.
couple bigger YouTubers that told me that early on.
It's a closed case. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. It
And
is the most
the other night
pointless thing to talk about.
I went on a panel the other night where I actually apologized to the family. I said, look, I'll always have questions, as I'm sure others will, but we're getting nowhere talking about it every night, rehashing the same stuff. There's other cases out there. There's a lot of good things to be talked about. I can't, you know, I can't in good conscience do it anymore, especially if the family doesn't want it to be done. I mean, who am I to?
I mean,
I don't
my
know.
opinion on
I'm
that
shook up.
case, my opinion on the on the case that she's been talking about lately is, how's it going to hurt you know what I mean? Give the family the investigation, open the investigation, and give them peace. You know, if it was a suicide, then it was a suicide. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay, like, but
That
at least
the Androcchio
look
case, that
into
one
it.
I have a huge passion for that case. They all they want is a fair grand jury impaneled where they prove to the family that things were omitted from the original grand jury. One grand juror has come forward, maybe more, but I know of one that has come forward and said it would have been a whole different thing if they showed them the Arden report and the Arrington report. So there were things that were wrong. That's all they want is a fair presentation to a grand jury. Let that happen, and then let the chips fall where they may.
That's what I'm saying. That's all. I mean, what could it hurt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it going to cost a little extra money? Is it going to cost the taxpayers some money? Sure. Okay. All right.
That's what we pay our taxes for.
Right. Right. Like, what's wrong with giving this family peace? I'm okay with my taxes going to that. You know what I mean? Giving him closure, finally.
And it doesn't cost that much. What people don't realize is it doesn't cost money to a district attorney's office, for example, has a grand jury impaneled 24/7 all year round. There's always a grand jury impaneled. It's not something they have to call in special.
Right.
Right now, as we speak, my district attorney's office has a grand jury impaneled, and we just don't hear about every case that goes before them because they're usually small stuff. You know, a guy robbed a store, all these different weird things. We only hear about the ones. It's not a special grand jury. You already have a grand jury. Just put it in forum. Somebody asked in the chat, though, what the 315. Yeah, that's the area code of. I live in the Syracuse, Utica region of New York.
Linda Lou's on. I have to step away for just a second, so I'll let Linda Lou and you guys talk for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me 1 second.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, just Larry. Sorry about that.
Hello. No, you're good. Nice to meet you.
You too. Okay, so I invited Mr. Nutt, and he said he cannot speak right now because he's in a hotel.
Oh, okay. Is Mr. Nutt the one that was on last night?
Oh, yeah. Do you know who he is?
Just from last night. Like I said, I'm totally new to everything, so
okay.
But I saw him on last night.
He's on
right now, awesome guy.
But he says he can't speak because there's people in the hotel room. Damn it. Yeah, he's a friend of Will's. Yeah, they go way back.
He seemed like a wicked awesome guy. I fell in love with his dog.
Yeah. Oh my God. He was a puppy when we first saw him.
Oh, really? Does he have a channel as well, or I thought I heard him talking about a channel.
He does. Mr. Nutt, please post that. He does, but he's not going to be back online until I think after the summer, like first of fall.
That's okay. I would love to go over and check out his videos and subscribe at least, show some support.
Yeah. No, he's awesome. He's not really about the whole true crime stuff, but he does.
No, yeah. Mr. Nutt. We were talking about Mr. Nutt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a comic book nut, man. Like, he talks about comic books and stuff, man. He needs to talk to Nerdette's Newsstand. I don't know, like, Mr. Nutt. Do you know Nerdette's Newsstand? She's probably my favorite right now as far as her. Yeah, like the way she like anybody who's
she likes Johnny
anybody
Depp,
who's
though.
that. Yeah, anybody
she likes
who's
Johnny Depp, though.
She gets a pass with me for that. Anybody who talks about Batman the way that she does, they get a pass in my book, even if they support Hollywood Vampires, that garbage band. They're terrible music, dude. Listen, dude, it's Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper and Joe Perry. Like, stop it. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? Stop it.
It's so bad. It's it's just a super group where they play like, and it's like these guys just catering to the fact that Johnny Depp is in a band with them. Oh my God. That's what they're doing.
Will, you a fan of Johnny Depp?
Actually, yes, I am. I just like to troll the Johnny Depp community.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I actually am. I'm actually a big fan of Johnny Depp, but I do hate Hollywood Vampires. Everything I say about Hollywood Vampires, I absolutely believe because I'm super critical when it comes to music. It is just some super group.
Thank you, Cherry K.
It reminds me of like you remember that movie Funny People with Adam Sandler? where he's dying of cancer, right?
Mm.
And then he like pays some rock band, that's some famous rock band, to just jam with him. That's what it's what I
Okay,
think
so
Johnny
you're
Depp is
so
doing.
ridiculous right now.
That is what Johnny Depp is doing with Joe
You're
Perry and Alice
so
Cooper.
ridiculous right now.
I'm telling the truth. It's
No,
just
you're
I feel like they're just kind of like, yeah, all right. Well, how much are you gonna pay us, Johnny Depp? And he's like, well,
Didn't he
yeah.
own that Hollywood bar that River Phoenix died in the front of?
That's all I'm saying, man. All I'm saying is yeah. The Johnny dude, Hollywood Vampires is just it's a
Exactly,
fabricated
Nicole.
supergroup.
Stop.
It's a fabricated supergroup, is what it is.
Wait, am I crazy? Isn't your girlfriend married to Johnny Depp or no? Am I get the wrong one?
My girlfriend.
Yes, Amber Heard.
Yes, they've been having all kinds of issues.
Listen.
Yep.
I don't know much.
Wait. Amber Heard and NK.
I mean, yeah, you know,
I mean,
that's
yeah.
hello. Will does not love the Hollywood Vampires, Cherry K. But I do see. Here's the thing: I do believe him, though. Like seriously, all trolling aside, I actually believe Johnny. I love the Johnny Depp community because they're so supportive and they dig for like real information. Like that umbrella guy is incredible. That guy is like a machine creator. That guy has all my respect.
Do you really like him, or are you just saying that?
No, dude, I'm serious. I love the guy. We're actually cool as far as I know. Me and a couple of his mods don't really get along, but he's
Go figure.
But he's great. And his wife is actually an active member of the community as well. Not a creator, but an active member of the community, and she's really, really cool. And she's anonymous, but she's a big supporter, and she's really, really cool. And they are totally just professional, and they love what they do. And when you listen to that umbrella guy, when you listen to Tug talk, he's like Annie. He's like a male Annie when it comes to the Johnny Depp stuff. He's just showing just documents, going over the documents, explaining the documents. He's really, really, really thorough and really, he's incredible.
So if you've heard him go over the documents, what don't you agree with?
No, I just said I believe Johnny Depp.
Wait,
what's
the name of his channel?
That umbrella guy.
I'm gonna have to check that. I'm learning all kinds of stuff from you guys. I found Annie through you, and I didn't realize. I mean, she's a huge. She got what, over 100,000. I'm like, wow, I found her through the glare, and now
she blew up fast, man. She blew up super fast. She started on TikTok. What she was doing, it was genius, really. She would do true crime cases, but she'd do them because they're TikTok videos, so they're really fast. They're really short, and she would like update a case in like 90 seconds or something like that, or 60 seconds. And she'd be like, it's true crime minute, go. And like, she would just explain and have all this and make these really great videos. And she blew up. And then she started on YouTube and just, man, had like 20,000 subscribers, like right off the bat in her first live. It was crazy. And I was in her chat.
Wow.
And she didn't even know about the concept of a moderator. She didn't know you needed moderators in your chat. So I was like, I was putting like alert lights up. I was absolutely spamming her chat, but I was putting like alert lights up, emojis saying, in all caps, like click on my name and then click on add moderator, because you have like 600 people in here and you don't have a wrench. Like it was crazy. Jeremy M, welcome, homie.
So
yeah,
Bill,
she
if you believe
she's
Johnny
become
Depp,
one of my favorites.
why don't you do anything on his case?
Because I'm not. It's not something I'm passionate about. To me, it's personal problems between two people. You know what I mean? Like it's
no, but it's really not that.
I mean,
No,
I don't.
no.
I'm just not. I'm not going to talk about
Michael Long. You can definitely stand behind Johnny Depp.
I do stand behind Johnny Depp. I'm just not using it for content. Like there's other people that do a great job doing it. Rob's Rules does a great job. Mr. Zod does a great job. Tug does a great
actually,
job.
they don't.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
I mean,
do.
I love them.
Yeah, they
But
do.
no,
They
they
do.
actually
They
don't.
do
No,
great.
they don't go in depth.
Tug does.
Tug does. Yes, he does. You know why? Because he's in some kind of communication with Adam Alwyn.
I mean, I don't know anything about that. All I know is his content is fantastic, and I think that's all he wants me to care about. You know, so.
But why don't you get on that train?
Because it's not something I'm passionate about. You know.
Okay.
I mean,
Cherry,
Cherry, what is
are you listening to this?
That whole long case or whatever. See, now I wasn't around for that. I don't know what that's about. Only thing I've gathered out of it was that it was some kind of controversy between CK and whatever. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Like,
here's the thing.
I can't possible.
The Sophie thing started off as a crime case. And Annie started talking about it, and I started talking about it. I went over the video, and then Josh started talking about it with Annie, and then we all started talking about it. And then I was a moderator for Critical K at the time. I was a moderator for her, and I was texting with her, and she she needs people to reassure her sometimes, you know, and I'm honestly, I don't have any ill will towards her anymore. I just, you know, so I'm not trying to trash talk her. I'm just telling the truth here. But you know, and she needs some reassurance sometimes, because the fact is even though she does it to herself, she does have a lot of hate out there, and it gets to her, you know, and so I was kind of
are you trying to protect?
I was kind of talking her up
At Critical K.
Am I trying to do what?
Protect her. Or
no, I'm explaining how she got involved in the case.
But you realize that she was the one that actually doxed you.
I realize everything. I was there. I covered it. I talked about
it. That's another thing that I don't understand. Why are you actually like going out for her now?
I'm not going out for her. What are you talking about?
The last one, you said, you know, I'm here.
I was talking about her feud with Limey with the T. I was talking about that.
Is that the case though? I'm trying to figure out the case.
That was hilarious.
Was that the case where it kind of went viral? There was like this girl and her father, and the girl was yelling, didn't want to go with someone.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I remember it going viral, but again, I wasn't in true crime at the time. So
right.
All right.
So in a text thread, a conversation I was having with CK, she was like, well, she's like, no way I would ever touch that case, blah, blah, blah. And then when I told her that that happened first, I told her that I was in a chat. I was trying to cheer her up, and I was like, I still get nervous, you know, doing this. And then I said, I was in a chat that had 11,000 people in it. I was moderating a chat, and then I was on panel talking about this, and there was 11,000 people. No lie. Annie had 11,000 people watching that live stream.
Wow.
And it was scary. You know, it was scary for me. It was real scary for me because the chat was attacking the hell out of me because I have a way different style than Annie. And it wasn't the whole chat. It was just, there was some rough comments, and it was like, whoa, okay. You know? So, and when I told Kay that there was 11,000 people, she was like, what? And then she was saying that something happened where there was not even the biggest, but one of the biggest live streams she didn't even break like 3,000 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she typed there. I still have the thread somewhere, but I don't need to get into all that. But she was absolutely driven by the views. She saw that when she heard that Annie had 11,000 people in her chat, she gunned for Annie. That's exactly what happened. She just started attacking her, doing what she was doing with Kendall Ray recently, you know, and
So it is that. So people have told me it was that, because what happened, what's funny, and it wasn't even that many. I had a live one night where I got almost 2,000 in, and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, where are these people coming from?
it's
Like, is this a
nerve-wracking,
prank?
you
Yeah,
know,
it
like
was like, and
what
I
the hell
turned it
am I?
off so I didn't have to look. I go, I'm just gonna have to trust my mods. But it was like right after that when she started coming after me, and I go, why? Like, all I did was try. We were talking about the same case. I was, we may have been on different sides, but I had never attacked her personally or nothing. And then suddenly, she just started every day. He's a man baby. He's a this and he's a that. And I'm going, wow, where's this coming from?
Well, I
Yeah.
think that the other thing was that she was saying that the little girl was lying and she was a brat.
She called her a brat. She called her a liar. Yeah, she did horrible, horrible things regarding that case, and we went at it, man. Like, we went at it. Me and Kay were in a straight up rivalry feud, and it was ugly. It really was. It got to a point where where my ex, who is an absolute monster, a horrible person.
Yeah, but didn't she reach out to her and ask for information on you?
That's what I'm getting at. She contacted, she blasted a bunch of lies in somebody's text thread. It was actually BX Beast Boy's text thread, or his comment thread. And what I accused him of was leaving that up there. That's why I considered that doxing on his part, because he left it up there and he was feuding with me. He didn't remove it. Anybody does that to anybody, I don't care who they are. I don't care if I'm feuding with them. I'm removing that comment. So
I do the same. I'm not, if somebody
right. So I held
one of my
I held
panelists,
him accountable for that. I held him accountable, and then Kay saw that comment, and then told her to contact her in a post, and
she did on her Patreon,
right, and then she shared all that information, all this personal information on me, which most of it was lies, and put it out on thank you, Soul Sister. And I don't know what's going on with CK's channel. She says that she's cleaning it up and whatever, you know what I mean? I don't even care. I don't care what's going on with her channel.
yeah. Well, she's got some other issues. I mean, I could, and I'm not going to go on to it on here, but right. I think you'd be surprised at what we've found, that other things that she's done to dox you.
Oh,
illegal means.
Know. Yeah, okay. I already know, like, what she's done, and then and then Limey with the T took this information and did a whole dragging live stream on me. And
yeah, you saved me that night. I almost got into something. I saw you come in. I saw you kind of I go, okay, I got to watch out and be careful.
Yeah,
I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, she's bad news, dude. She is bad news. She literally scares me because she lies.
Wait, who is Limey?
You don't know who Limey with the T is?
I do not know.
Yeah, you're better off. But she would, like, she makes up lies just as she's talking and does it so effortlessly that it's actually kind of scary. Because that she's convincing herself that these lies are true as she's talking. She believes her own lies. It's a crazy thing to watch, because you're like, oh my God, that's completely untrue. What are you doing?
So Larry, you were in jeopardy of that too?
And she does it she does it the way Annie gives information on a true crime case. She talks that fast, and she's got a British accent, so it's attractive to people. And some people who are just dumb, they listen to her and they take her seriously.
So was Larry in jeopardy of that too?
Well, what happened is, I didn't know, for sure. I didn't know who.
I have no doubt in my mind that there was a
what happened to you, Larry?
that there's a
Well, I
dox
just
in preparation for Larry if there hasn't been one already. I have
well,
no doubt.
I've already doxed myself. I mean, I came on here. I told my real name. Like my whole life, you can Google. I've lived. I've been in public office. My father was in public office.
Yeah,
My
okay, so
father
that makes
was
sense.
arrested. Like I did my second life was basically telling the world I showed everything about my father from the early '80s. I showed my whole life. So it's like you can't dox me. There's nothing to dox. I'll tell you I'll tell everyone where I live. I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
care.
I mean, yeah.
But what happened with that girl with Limey, I didn't know. I had never heard the name before in my life. But everyone knows that I had a feud or whatever with CK. So I had gotten one day during the middle of the day, I'd gotten a message with a link to this live saying this is going on. So I jumped in, not knowing anything, and I figured, okay. And I said, let me do this. I gave a super chat just to see the reaction from the crowd. And some were still attacking, some were not. And then I said a few words, and then I kind of left because I saw Will had jumped in and said, careful. And I'm like, okay, let me be careful here.
Yeah.
And I left. And then I got a private
news, dude. Bad news.
private email from the person saying we need to talk immediately from that Limey. And I said, okay, nope, not getting involved. I don't know what's going on. So I don't have anything
Exactly,
personal.
Cherry
All
K.
I
Why
know
does
is
a British
I'm taking
accent
Will's advice.
trustworthy?
I mean, yeah, like I don't know what it is, but the British accent hypnotizes some people. That's all they hear, you know? Like it's kind of crazy. But she's like she's I've never heard anybody lie so effortlessly as she does. I've never seen that.
I've never even heard of her.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's
does she have a lot of subs?
She's gotten a lot of subs, but she does the same thing that bitch boy does. She does the same thing that CK does. You know,
but
they
you
just
need to stop even responding to bitch boy.
But no, I'm gonna have
I'm
fun
serious.
with it. I'm
Like,
gonna have fun with it.
I told
I'm
Mr.
gonna have
Nut
fun
that
with it.
earlier, and you can ask him right now.
I'm gonna have fun with it. I hope his views grow and everything. I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna help him out.
No.
Yeah.
His only content is attacking people that actually have content.
You don't think I'm aware of this? So I'm just gonna
Then don't validate him.
I'm gonna make a cartoon character out of him. That's what I'm gonna do. And it's that's going to be the extent of his validation because people are just going to see him as a cartoon character, as somebody that can't be taken seriously. So, and if he's successful off of that, I want him to know that that's why, and I want him to know it was because of me. So that's how I'm going to handle it.
I just don't understand when you have. I mean, I've heard people talk about you can buy subs. I don't know how that works, but how else do I? He's got almost 15,000 subs.
No,
and he gets like a couple hundred
he's
views.
basing everything off of attacking people that actually have content.
Yeah, he used to do a lot,
and still nobody views it though. I mean, he's got the subs, but nobody's viewing. Like me, I only have 6,000 subs, but if I upload a video right now, I mean, within an hour, it's going to be over 1,000 views easily. And I mean, most of them that are up there have 10, and I don't know what all that means yet. Still learning all this stuff, but when I look at his and there's only like 400, I'm like, where are the 15,000
right? Like nobody cares what he has to say. Nobody does, unless he's talking about somebody that people care about.
Look, here's my problem with him. I don't have a problem with him like riding your coattails. The only problem that I have with him is what he did last night. He came on to a stream that he shouldn't have, unless he was going to have, like, just like that girl, right? You have your things with that girl or whatever, but she came on because she cares about you and she cares about people just in general. The fact that he came on there and was attacking you at the weakest moment is ridiculous.
Yeah, but see, what was funny was I wasn't at a weak moment. I was at a very strong moment. It was a low moment, but the thing is,
I know, but you put it out there, right? He looked at the title, right? Suicidal question mark. And he took it upon himself to come on there and say what he said. That tells me everything about him that I need to know.
Sure. Yeah.
It
No,
was
and
a
that's why I
straight
let him
up
on.
bitch move.
That's why
It
I
was
let
a
him
bitch
on.
move.
Right. That's why I let him on, because I knew he was going to do exactly that. I mean, I didn't have to say anything. He did it.
I don't know how old he is, but it sounds like he grew up in that. At least grew up in a generation where people are just way too comfortable talking shit online without consequences.
Well, I mean, that's
when I
what
grew
he
up,
is, man.
if you talk shit,
He's a
you at least
joke,
had to be
dude.
willing to get beat up for it. You know what I mean? He could just do it and hide in his whatever he lives in. It was stupid, and you had people in there in your chat that were hurting and that were
Did you see what Renee
appreciative.
said? She said she was triggered.
Yeah. See, I mean, people were, and that shows he doesn't give a rat's ass that anybody
No, he
might have
doesn't
hurt
care about
themselves.
anybody. He doesn't care about anybody. Like, he doesn't care about anything. He's just mad at the world because he doesn't like himself. So he just takes it out on other people because he doesn't like himself. It's clear that he doesn't like himself.
No, what he wanted to do was try to make you like, he was trying to say that you were taking advantage of the situation to make money off of it. Guess what? That motherfucker, that person came on there and was riding your coattails.
Sure. Yeah.
So
and then he made a video.
Even do that.
And he made a video.
Is laughable.
Well, based off his views, let's talk even strategical for a second. I mean, if you're even from a selfish standpoint, if I'm him and I'm saying, okay, I got 15,000 subscribers, I got all these videos, I'm putting out content, I'm getting only a few hundred views. So from ad revenue, anybody that's on here knows he's not making much money. His lives don't even get a lot of super chats, and to get maybe 30 people in it. So I would be saying to myself, even if I was an evil, selfish person, okay, this strategy is clearly not working. How about I've heard Will say it and try to give him advice, and he's not taking it. Like, dude, try something else. It's not working for you.
Yeah, like he doesn't even have 1,000 views on a video that was put up 15 hours ago, and the only reason he has even that many is because he used my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he's using Critical K in his titles. Like, I'll talk about K because
it was at the same time.
I
Like,
have history with K.
I just talked to Mr. Nut today, and I said he's a DICK, and he said yes. He was taking advantage. He was a jerk. That's what he said, and he actually was.
No, we all saw him for what he was.
I would hope that you would not acknowledge him, because actually he's really nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, I know that, but I'm going to make him less than nothing by making him, and I'm going to make that very public. That's the fun part. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, if he wants to use my name, then I'm going to enjoy that. If he's going to use me for content, then I'm going to give him the content. Louisiana girl, thank you. Jeremy M, my man, dude, is super generous, man. Super generous.
Yeah, it just blows
I really appreciate you.
Like you were just saying, I think my last live was just a literal live from my phone where I didn't even show my face for like 20 minutes, where I talked as I was driving home from a restaurant, and it's got, I think, almost 2,000 views or whatever on it. Like, I'm like, dude, you're getting a few hundred. Whatever you're doing is not working. Try to be nice. I don't know. Sorry, I'm washing my hands.
Is somebody peeing, or are they washing their hands?
That's me. I'm washing my hands. I don't want to get in trouble. I already got told once. The last time I did this, I got told I was pooping on live. I'm like, guys, come on. I'm walking around trying to find something to eat.
Right, soul sister? Oh my God, who's peeing?
No, I think Will might be. He disappeared.
Oh wait, I guess
at least he didn't
just speak. Okay, that's fine. Oh, Larry pooped. True Crime said Larry pooped.
I was on a live one night, and actually I went back and listened. I thought I was heating up food. No, I didn't. No. But I mean, people keep on. There's literally a bunch of trolls that keep on saying Larry pooped on live. No, what I was doing, it's even worse actually.
Somebody just asked, "What's what?"
Life, so I chew tobacco.
Hey Val, you're on Will's channel. I'm Will. Nice to meet you. She's like, "What's Will's channel?" Let me think about that.
It's very secret.
Hey, so yeah. Will, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So how's it going at work?
I just talked about that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to miss you.
I mean, we'll see. I'm going to talk to somebody tomorrow, and if they're willing to work with me, then I'll stay. Because I loved it. I love working there. I really do.
You said you love the people.
I do love the people. I do.
Come on, man. Move up to New York. I'll hire you in a minute.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean,
New York's expensive though, man.
No, not where I live. I live
Tennessee
upstate,
versus New York.
Syracuse area, it's dirt cheap.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. You could buy a mansion up here for $150,000, $200,000. You can rent an absolutely gorgeous 3-bedroom for $900 a month.
If you had to say the person that you will miss the most if you had to leave your job right now, who would it be?
I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about my coworkers on here.
Aww.
And the truth is that's a really tough question because there's just so many that I love equally. That's the truth.
Do they know you do?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do.
Do
especially after today. Very, very, I don't like to mix, but very few. Like there's a member of my club who I shared my channel with. It's a couple and the guy is a cop, so I'm comfortable sharing my channel with them, and we talk about, I tell them what I talk about here and whatnot, but I don't, they know that I have a channel, but I don't share it with anyone. There's very few. A couple people have actually found it, but they keep it on the down low and they respect the fact that I like to not
May I ask you a personal question?
I may not answer it, but sure, go ahead.
Okay. Are you going to keep in touch with that girl?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know.
Dude, that was like, I don't even know. You were talking like to your bestie last night.
She was a very, very close person that when she was, I felt the need to have a right hand. She was my right hand. I realize that that's probably not a good idea now, so I don't have one. I think the closest thing to a right hand that I have right now is Cherry K. And I love that because Cherry K is 100% anonymous. We have very little small talk. We have very little direct contact. And now I refuse to rely on anyone else for material for my content. I'll do it all myself and I'll do the best that I can with it. And it's, but I will never have that type of dynamic with another one of my mods again. Because it was just too much, it was, when I give someone that much, over my channel.
Dude, you almost cried.
But,
even just talking to her.
She's great,
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
She's great. I believe that certain things took place where I had a right to be upset. And I see her point of view where she feels that I should be less curt with people, with her especially, because of the love that she's put into the channel. So I get her side of it too, but the bottom line is it boils down to I allowed boundaries that I should have set to be crossed. And I think we both did. And it was nothing of an inappropriate nature in any way, shape, or form. It was nothing like that. It was just she felt that she had say over the things that I do with my channel that I don't think that she had say over. And we just didn't see eye to eye on that stuff. And I was just very direct about the fact that I'm the one who has say over these things. Can
I give you my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Is that a yes or no? I think that she wanted you to defend her when you didn't. And I'm not saying that you should have. I wanted her to defend me when she didn't. And you were so right. And I think that you did the same exact thing with her. So that whole thing about the, calling and not having a shirt and all that crap, that is so fucking stupid to me.
Well, I'm not going to get into that because
but you understand that is ridiculous.
That's stuff that
but
is water under the bridge now, and there's no even any need to even discuss it at this point.
I think that you had a very big misunderstanding, and I think that you guys love each other, and it's obvious from last night. And she was here for you, and so was Mr. Nutt. And
it was a great panel last night.
It was amazing. It was amazing. What, you had like 200 people here?
I mean, yeah, that was nice.
Just wanted to hear y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna let somebody else on now, but I appreciate you, Linda Lou. Thanks.
Thank you, Will.
All right, have a good night. All right, what's up? You mad, bro? You mad, bro? I love your handle. I love that.
Well, thanks. So you're gonna have to catch me up. I've been super duper sick.
Catch you up on what? What do you want to know?
Everything. What happened? I've literally not been in since like the collab with like Josh and BX, and then the stuff where the guy faked his death and all that.
Oh, it's nothing. It was a little drama last night. I mean, I went live because I don't want to forget what I started this channel for. First of all, that's what the Glare thing is. The Glare is an acronym where I just apply these things to help manage my depression and anxiety that I struggle with. And I started this channel being very open about that and talking about that. I may have swayed from that a bit, but I really wanted to get into that and talk about it last night because I felt I was having a really hard time, and I thought it would be interesting to document it and then and share it with everyone here so that if there's anybody else who's feeling that way, it's not ever an option to do that. You know what I mean? It's just not. But it's understandable because I go through it. You know what I mean? So I don't want people to, to be ashamed of having these feelings. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to feel ashamed of these struggles. You know what I mean? And so I thought it would be a good gesture to actually go live when I was going through the hardest of it.
I think that it's good that you're doing it because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, number one. Number two.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, number two, with the Rona, like everybody is experiencing, you know what I mean, some sort of mental health. Shout out to Jeremy for the super chat. And number three,
and I'm gonna make Blair answer that question about moving to New York. So
go ahead, take it over.
No, you're finished,
let's talk about. I mean, we're on a live stream. Let's talk about this. What What are the pros? What would I be doing? You're sitting here telling me you're going to give me a job. What would my job title be, and what would my job consist of?
And how much would it get paid?
Well,
I'm interviewing you.
well, there's a couple things that you could do, but I mean, in the media, I work in insurance. I'm not going to say the company, but it's one of the largest in the country. And yeah, there's always several positions. I mean, getting a position in a job is not the problem at all. I live upstate, which is beautiful up here. You're only a few hour drive from so many different major metropolitan areas. You live in the city. You got rural areas around, mountains, almost like Colorado. You got the Adirondack Mountains, Catskills. No, it's not bad. I mean, taxes are high up here. But in this area,
but Mr. Nuts over here telling me to come to Honduras, dude. Like, listen, I mean, if I come work for you, do I get to pistol whip sex traffickers? Because that's what I'm gonna get to do in Honduras with Mr. Nut. Mr. Nut's a badass. Like Mr. Nut has. So. Let me tell you something. You don't know about Mr. Nut, do you?
No.
Yo, I wish he could come on panel to explain it, because I love hearing him explain it. He's explained what he does on this channel so many times. But he's basically a badass is what he is. He's ex-military, and he just helps people is what he does.
But yeah, I saw him last night,
and I won't even attempt to try to explain it, because it needs to come from him. You know what I mean? So one of these days you'll hear him explain it. Or you could go back and watch any of my lives that he's on, and he does explain it.
Yeah, he sounded like an awesome dude last night. I enjoyed watching you guys. That's why I hate that what happened, because it was such a good conversation.
I'm so grateful to call him a friend. Like I've made good friends in this community. I really have. And I can't express how grateful I am for that. Mexi, Save Robbie, him, I mean, even CK, man, she was cool for a while there, but she actually wasn't, though.
I don't know what to think.
She was pretty shitty, and I would tell her sometimes. I'd be like, man, you fucking tell me to shut up like that one more time. Swear to God, like, I don't give a shit who you are. You know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are talking to me like that? Yeah, like she thinks she could talk to anybody how she wants, man. And like
that's how it happened with me. I went in new, man. Like I was like just trying to simply ask questions about case. I thought this was about discussing true crime, and you debate cases, you debate ideas. I mean, I don't know what I said, but she just flipped. I was like, oh my God, all right, sorry.
I don't think debating is in her vocabulary. Like she cannot have a debate.
Oh, she was screaming.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we both have brought that out in each other. I know that. Me and CK have done that. Because the thing is she has the potential to be brilliant, but she thinks she's much more brilliant than she really is. And that affects her behavior. And she is totally in this weird delusional world where she gets to do whatever she wants to people and treat people however she wants. And I mean, it's gotta be lonely, dude. It's gotta be lonely. You know what I mean?
Her motives are so transparent too. She doesn't really hide them. I mean, for example, this whole, what was it? Kendall, Ray, and John going at, I mean, like, come on, really? Like, do you think these people with 2 million subs are going to actually even pay attention to someone that screams and farts on the thing and blows
and the Dollar Tree crown?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, that's just
Jeremy M is making it rain in my chat, bro.
Jeremy's the man.
Like, dude, killing me.
It's all because I wore a Cubs hat for him one night on a live. You do that on a live some night. Wear a Cubs hat for him.
Everybody needs to hashtag Jeremy.
I like that you're a Cubs fan. It's funny. I imagine talking to you about baseball, and now I have you on my channel. I'm not a baseball fan currently, but when I was a kid, it was everything. I was a diehard St. Louis Cardinals fan as a kid because I was born in St. Louis, and I used to go to games all the time. Ozzie Smith was my hero just because he did a backflip or did a front flip on the home plate. You know, when he would hit a home run once, and like I think he hit like 2-3 home runs in his whole career. But yeah,
the best shortstop ever.
He's the best shortstop ever. Like, oh man, and it's really funny because you're a Cubs fan, and I grew up as
actually. Jeremy's a Cubs fan.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
a diehard Yankees. But I always said during a show one night, I said if the Yankees stopped existing, I'd be a Cubs fan, and if they stopped existing, it would be actually, believe it or not, a Cardinals fan. Those are the 3 best organizations. Only I leave the Red Sox out because I hate them because I'm a Yankees fan.
This is what happened. I feel like I should sue every single player that went on strike back in the late 80s, because that's what broke my heart and made me stop following it. And then I discovered rock and roll and pot and then other things, and my life was ruined. So do I have a lawsuit against all of those players that went on strike all those years ago for my life turning out the way that it did?
Emotional distress, man. That's a big damage.
Dude, that was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking because I dreamed of being a baseball player because I loved baseball. Like when I saw Field of Dreams, and there's that part where Ray Liotta, where he's Shoeless Joe Jackson, right? And he's explaining, you know, he's like, have you ever taken a glove and just held it to your face, you know? And I did. I was that kid. I was that kid, you know? And like, so seeing that, I was like, yeah, man, he gets it, dude. He gets it, you know?
And then with my glove, man, I'd sleep with my glove every night.
Me too.
I played baseball through college. That's why I went to Florida for college, was because of baseball. They had better programs on there. I went to USF. But yeah, baseball was life. I mean, now I'm a fat old man, but at one time I actually was kind of athletic.
I'm actually more athletic now than I ever was in my life, which is crazy.
So you're in good shape, man.
I mean, I work out all the time, like all the time. But I mean, I spent my whole life just being I was an addict, and it was bad. It was bad, dude. You know, I made real bad life decisions. But the thing is when I was a kid, I genuinely, absolutely loved baseball, and I loved my 85 Cardinals, man. My 85 Cardinals were everything, dude. Willie McGee, Vince Coleman, Jack Clark on first base. Those were, I mean, it's funny, when I left St. Louis for good, the very last day I was ever in St. Louis, I was at the airport and I met Lou Brock, and he signed a baseball for me.
One of the greatest ever. St. Louis is a great
because he owned a little memorabilia shop in the airport. And I remember I was standing there with my foster dad. My foster dad was about to put me on a plane to go back to live with my mom, and I was 12. And he was like, and he called me Willie when I was a little kid, you know. And he was like, "Yeah, Willie, you see who that is?" And I'm like, "No, I mean, I don't." He's like, "That's Lou Brock." And I loved Lou Brock, you know. And I was like, "Oh my God," you know, it was amazing. And he signed a baseball for me, and yeah.
St. Louis is one of the best baseball towns, they say, in the country. I mean, it's a great baseball city. Huge history.
It is a great baseball city.
Musial.
Stan the man, dude. Come on.
Stan the man, yeah.
Stan the man.
Andy Van Slyke, I don't know if you remember him. He started off with St. Louis. He actually grew up here where I live, and used to come home and help us out on my American Legion team during high school. And he would, do a little camp every summer. And his grandfather's still or his father is still a judge here. Yeah, Andy Van Slyke started off in St. Louis, and he went to Pittsburgh. He was an all-star a couple times. Nothing huge though, but he was a good ball player.
I
love St. I've never been to St. Louis though. I was supposed to go because the company I work for, we have a big operation in St. Louis, and then COVID hit last year, and they canceled it. They still haven't. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to go again, but I'd love to visit the city.
Yeah, I mean it's a great city. It really is, especially if you're a baseball fan. It's a great city. I mean, since I stopped watching it, you mean Mark McGwire like broke the home run record. You know, I remember when I was at a bar when he did that, and I remember like I was I was doing blow and drinking heavily, and I cried. I did. I cried. I was like, this is amazing that I'm getting to see this. You know,
I still have. I was at college
breaking that home run record.
I was in Florida at college. I still have the newspaper from the day after. It was the St. Petersburg Times. I bought the New York Post. All the different newspapers. I bought them, and I saved. Saved them. I still have them in a box somewhere in the basement.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. I would have had a fortune in baseball cards. But it's really funny. So ironically, the first baseball player that I idolized was Joaquin Andujar, who played for the Cardinals when I was a very little kid. And he's Dominican. So he was like a hero to my family, you know, especially since we lived in St. Louis. And so, you know, this Dominican baseball player, and my mom's Dominican, and I remember, I remember they were telling me there's all these baseball cards that you can have, that one of my uncles had. I mean, classic baseball card. I mean, like Babe Ruth, like everything, you know, a fortune, literally a fortune in baseball cards. And they burned down the house in Dominican Republic where they were at burned down. And they were in the house, and I never got them, and I was supposed to get them. I mean,
imagine some of those cards that would have been in there. Well, now you mentioned Dominican. Now everyone's Dominican in the league. Dominicans are taking over baseball.
That's in our blood, man. Just they love it.
Those guys over there, I mean, they're playing with milk cartons as their gloves, and on rock-filled field. I mean, you learn if you could field a ground ball on those fields coming to the major leagues, and these guys are like, with these balls, they're like, oh my god, this is so easy.
Oh man, rookie card Nolan Ryan. Wow, dude, Nolan Ryan, man, that's arguably the best pitcher of all time.
My favorite growing up was it's because of my age, but was still Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. But he had too many injuries.
Yeah, I liked Don Mattingly too. I was never a Yankee fan though. But I always I liked the Yankees more because it's funny as New York teams, it's St. Louis was a National League team and the Yankees were an American League team, so we never played them. But we had a rivalry with the Mets. You know, it was a thing to be like the Mets are pawn scum. I remember I went to a game and we were like right at, you know, center field, right? And Mookie Wilson was playing center field, and he was a dick. He was a dick because we were all just going Mookie, right? And then like I asked him for a ball, and he was like, yeah, kid, here. And then he was like, hell no. And then he threw it back to I was like, you son of a bitch. I was like 11.
I'll tell you what, I shouldn't even admit this on here, but we almost started an actual fight with Ricky Henderson in Tampa. I was a college.
I love Ricky Henderson. He was my hero too. The stolen bases.
I still believe Ricky Henderson's arguably one of the best of all time. But
for sure.
We just wanted to. It was so quiet in those stadiums. Tampa at that time, when I went to college, they couldn't get more than 20 people in their stadium. So like you could literally be talking in the stands and the people on the field can hear your conversation. That's how quiet it was. So he was playing left field and we were right down next to him. And it was right after he had some allegations. I don't know if it was his sister or his girlfriend that he had beat up or something. So we're all sitting there, me and like a couple of my roommates and just other friends from college. And we're like, hey, let's try to get a reaction out of him. And we're trying everything. And then finally, one of my buddies just started yelling and ripping on him about beating women. And he turned around, yelled something to us, and started walking towards us. And luckily, some guys from the bullpen pulled him back. But I was like, oh my God, we almost got in a fight with Ricky Henderson. We would have been on ESPN, I guess, that night. Jeremy hitting it up again. Actually, I want to go work with Jeremy.
Jeremy's coming through.
My gosh. I need him to hire me. Baseball's life. Nolan Ryan punched out a dude. Yeah, I love that. That was, oh my God, what was his name, man? Don't tell me, Jeremy. I wanted to say Robin Yount, but it wasn't Robin Yount. It was Robin Ventura, I think. I think it was Robin Ventura.
Does Will know about your collection, Mr. Nut? You're going to have to come on and show us.
Emma, yeah, we did play FIU, actually. We would always have, we had a tournament where we'd play at in Clearwater, where the Philadelphia Phillies have a nice stadium there for their AAA team. That's where they do their spring training. And there was a tournament every year there. And FIU, I think they went every year.
Yeah, man. Mr. Nut, like, his house is dope. Like, he has so many collectibles.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he's given like me a little tour. Yeah, and he has something called the Fun Room, and that's all I'm going to tell you about. And it has nothing to do with sex or anything like that, but he calls it the Fun Room, and that's how you know Mr. Nut is for real. That Mr. Nut is not somebody you want to fuck with. I promise you that. He's definitely somebody that I'm happy likes me.
I was gonna say he seems like he's such an awesome guy, man. On the show.
Yeah.
I guess I should not make him mad though.
Yeah, Cherry K's Fun Room is much different than Mr. Nuts, but
he breaks desks when he gets mad. Usually.
But
I wouldn't make him mad personally.
No, yeah. I've seen him upset, and it's not comfortable at all.
I bet. I mean, I heard him talking. You know, he's obviously been in service and PTSD and stuff, which I've never been in the service, but I've actually dealt with. I've never admitted it till your show last night. Actually, that's why I said it's unfortunate. You get people like him. It offended
having
me,
Mr. Nut on my panel last night makes me believe in something more like God, because that couldn't have been an accident. The way that the things that he experiences every day, the things that he does for a living, and the things that he has to find. He's been very candid on this channel before, explaining that he has to find ways to forgive himself for things that he does and has done. And I can't imagine living with the burden of what he does, but it's almost like he has to do what he does. There's nobody else to do it. He just does it.
You know what you ever watch the show Scandal?
No, I have not.
With Kerry Washington, the way you're talking makes me. I'm envisioning. I think his name's Puck or Huck in that show. If anyone's in the chat, if anyone watch Scandal with Kerry Washington, and they have he's the man in that show. But he's got a lot of those, and they do super like government crazy deep state stuff and have to whack people all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that. I just know that what he does is completely independent, and it's doing something that needs to be done in an area that the world seems to have forgotten about, and he's like, think of, you ever see that movie Machine Gun Preacher? He's kind of like that, more or less, a little bit, not really, but that's what he reminds me of. You know,
sounds like a badass dude. I need to go have a drink with him.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Like at some point, like I'm going to be salvageably depressed if I don't get together with Mr. Nutt at some point and have a beer with him. That is absolutely a bucket list thing that needs to happen. It needs to happen. Like that's
I saw your face light up when
he's stateside right now, man.
Yeah, he said he's in the States.
He's stateside right now, which is great.
Vermont. He's not far from me.
And like he showed me just a month or two ago. He was stateside. He showed me a video of where he was staying, and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So I love that he's.
Vermont is awesome. It's actually a lot like upstate New York where I am. It's borders right with us. I can get to Vermont in an hour and maybe 15, 20 minutes from where I am. It's gorgeous there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Dave, Seeking the Truth with Dave is here. Dave, welcome to the good side of true crime.
Wow. Yeah, that's a beautiful house. It's a beautiful house. Like, yeah, man. I don't know Seeking the Truth.
Yeah, I have a good friend. Dave's got a channel. He's all Watts case though, so I know you're over it. So you probably wouldn't.
Is he a Watts case?
Well, he's covered a couple. He's dabbled into Androcchio a bit, but mostly. But Dave's actually the one that pushed me to start my channel.
Dude, Jeremy, thanks, man.
So he's a good dude. He's from
Australia.
Thanks,
Jeremy. Have a good night, Jeremy. I appreciate you, man. All the love. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, Jeremy, awesome seeing you again. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow night, Jeremy. So I'm back officially.
Yeah, he is definitely
what I'm going to talk about, but
he's a staple for this channel. Absolutely, Jeremy M is very much appreciated.
Yeah, he's awesome. Jeremy. But yeah, no, I have a friend that I don't know where he is in Vermont, but my best friend actually owns a pretty big roofing company in Bennington, Vermont.
Yeah, apparently Joanne Wilson, apparently you do not. You are not. Oh, you just became my favorite subscriber, Joanne Wilson. Do you see what her avatar is? Okay, this is my nerdiness. Okay, I'm a big movie nerd and a music nerd. And she is using Eddie and the Cruisers, an image from Eddie and the Cruisers. And Joanne is Eddie's girlfriend. They never married her, but she is taking on the name of Joanne. Oh, you're Joanne Australia.
Yeah,
but do you love Eddie and the Cruisers? I love Eddie and the Cruisers. I love it. I have this fantasy actually of like writing like a remake of it, kind of. But it's instead of like being like a 60s kind of doo-wop band that they were, more of a like an 80s hair band type thing. Because I think the concept's just so great. Like, and the music was great. Like Eddie and the Cruisers, the music was done by a band called John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. and it's really, really like, I mean, all those Eddie and the Cruiser songs like are fantastic to me. I listen to Eddie and the Cruiser soundtracks all the time. Both the movies. The second movie, I love the second movie. I'm not even trying to lie.
I want you to write a book.
That's a lot to ask, man.
I know, but I think that would be amazing. Like your story.
I don't think I have the attention span to sit down and write a fucking book.
You can just sit and go bit by bit. I know that's going to be probably like reliving a lot of trauma, but the payout might be worth it.
Okay. Mr. Nutt says, can you let him know that I'm out in Leamington right now?
Oh, nice. Yeah, it is close. That's beautiful there. So he's up in the mountains. That's gorgeous.
Let's hey, Seeking the Truth with Dave, come on up here, man. I don't know your channel. You can come up in and shill your channel if you want, man. I mean, I know it's Watts stuff.
His Aussie accent.
You want to get into a Watts discussion? Let's get into a Watts discussion. I've had a couple beers. This should be fun.
Oh, God.
It should be fun.
Dave will talk all night to you about that one. He's got it solved.
That girl, I know that girl's like in the chat right now going, oh, shit.
She just said she just subscribed to Dave, so that's good.
Dave's like,
Dave's a good guy. He's funnier than crap. He's an Aussie. He's a good man. His heart's in the right place.
I love my Aussies, man. I love my Aussies, man. It's funny. Like I think I lost all my Aussie subs that I had before, and now I have like British subs. Now that
Dave goes on really late because of the Aussie hours, and he does nothing but throws F-bombs and swears and yells names at everybody, calls them crap. It's the greatest time ever. Even if I don't agree with him, it's just too much fun.
Yeah. Oh, and check out Locomai's channel too, guys. Locomai's got some good content, man. She just doesn't have a lot of subs.
She doesn't have
a lot of views, but she does have a channel and it's good. So
nice.
So make sure you guys sub to Locomai's channel for sure, and sub to that girl's channel too, because that girl has got fantastic content.
Awesome, absolutely.
Like yeah. Like that girl, like she's a fantastic researcher, and so she puts her stuff together and she does it solid.
I enjoyed her on last night with you, Mr. Nutt. You guys, you guys are great, man.
Yeah. She's good.
Waiting for Dave to pop in. I know he's gonna.
Cherry K said I'm a British sub. I know what you mean. I meant subscriber. Cherry K. You weirdo. I love her so much. Dude, I'm telling you, Cherry K is a dude. Cherry K's a dude. Cherry K's a dude. Like totally living in mom's basement. Mom, send us down some spotted dick. Yeah, Mom.
Is that really a thing, or is it a joke?
No, it's a joke. Cherry K's all woman.
So
there's no man that talks the way Cherry K does. Cherry K's all woman.
The spotted dick, is that a real thing?
That's a real thing. Yeah.
You're lying to me because I'm gullible.
That's a thing. It's a dessert. It's a British dessert.
Is it good?
I don't know. I've never had it. I'm not eating anything. I'm not putting anything in my mouth called spotted dick.
Dog dick. I knew you were gonna say
that's not gonna happen. I'm not putting anything in my mouth called spotted dick. That's not gonna happen.
It's a pudding.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm not interested.
Speaking of Watts, Will, did you hear tonight's latest bombshell drama on Watts Island?
No.
Oh boy, I woke. That's what got me back on. I was ready to fall asleep, and was it Natasha went live, and apparently it was a big uproar. You know who Lana is, right?
Sort of.
Everybody kind of knows. You know, she was in with all them and started this mock trial, and that's where all my hate started coming because I spoke out against it.
I'm not with the mock trial, man. I told Save Robbie that too, man. Like I love Save Robbie. He's the judge. We laughed about it because I was just like, that mock trial is bullshit. He's like, I'm the judge, and I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, same happened with me, man. I spoke out against it, and they came for me. They came for my throat, man. They went nuts because I said I tried to get everybody to join together and go against it. I said, because of the mock trial, but because of who was doing it. Well, come to find out tonight, Lana has been gathering a bunch of her subs and her moderators, all the females. She's been making them think that they're like her actual girlfriend, and they've been sending her nude photos and videos and stuff. And she threatened them all that she was going to release them if they didn't do something for her or whatever. So they all came out basically. And
wait. Okay, you got to say all that all over again because that's a lot to process. Say that all over again.
Apparently, please. she's been
Lana
been basically becoming a sexual predator. I guess really she's been sexually. She got a lot of these girls thinking that they were her girlfriends or whatever. And there's more than Natasha says. There's at least
she's
four
the one that was just on. She was the one that was just on What's Her Face's channel that I really like too. God, I can't remember her name right now, but I really like her. She's great.
Alex Erickson.
Yes, Alex Erickson.
Yes, Alex is great. Alex is awesome. Sweet girl.
Right.
She was on there. Yeah. She so she got a bunch of people or a lot of girls to think that they were her girlfriends or whatever. And they were sending her, nude pictures and videos and that. Well, apparently she's blackmailing them and saying she's going to release their stuff. So it's turned into a big thing. It blew up tonight, and I got several messages.
Is there proof of this? Is this a real thing?
Oh, it's a real. I got messages from some of them that are very embarrassed that they fell for it. One of them is a moderator for me. And she's very, very a sweet girl. She's like, I'm so embarrassed that I fell for it. And Natasha did a huge live tonight.
Dude, that's pure evil.
Blew it up.
Do they not realize that's illegal?
It's illegal.
Yeah, that's
well, of course it's illegal. But I'm saying it's pure. There's a reason why it's illegal. Is because it's evil. It's messed up.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. And
oh my God, dude! The Watts Island
I'm talking
is
to
insane.
you, but everybody kept telling me, go on, say something, do this, because you warned everyone. I said, look, I'm not going to be that guy who says, oh, I told you so, because that's pretty childish. But I just kind of sat back a little bit and just watched it unfold. I said, hey, you guys, I tried. I guess I am saying now.
Sister, don't say stuff like that. I'm putting you out there. Don't say stuff like that. I'm not trying to hook up with no Alex. I think she's really cool. I like her channel. It's
Sosa's cool. She's just teasing you.
And she's from West Virginia, and I love that. That I spent a lot of my childhood in West Virginia, and I like that about her. That's all it is.
West Virginia.
Oh, I love that. I love Alex.
I lived in Charleston.
I'm on the PA Maryland line.
Cross Lanes, actually, to be technical, to be precise, where I lived in West Virginia.
PA Maryland line. I drive down there. When I take 81, my brother lives in South Carolina.
I live right off 81.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get into. I love Maryland because on 81 at least, as you're going south, you're only in there for like 10 minutes. It feels like, oh wow, I knocked down the state already. Yeah. After you go through from New York all the way through Pennsylvania, it feels like it's never going to end. Yeah. And then you get through it. And
crap.
Yeah. Nah. So are New York's are bad too. So we have the worst. I mean, you lose a whole car in the pothole up here.
Yeah, I mean, like it's. I mean, the Watts case. This is the issue, and this is honestly how I feel about it. I think all the craziness and all the behavior from all the craziness is a result of people talking about a case that is closed. It's done. You know, like you're not arguing about anything that actually has any substance because the person responsible has proven to be a liar and he's spending the rest of his life in prison. He's paying for the crime. And I really wish that the families got peace now and could just move on from it.
I've come to that conclusion myself.
And I think it's awful to exploit it. And so many YouTubers jump on the bandwagon of it because everyone's talking about it. And that's why they do it, because everyone's talking about it. But I feel like people should be thinking of the families at this point, both sides, both the Watts and the Rucheks. I think they should be thinking of them and let them be. That's it. Leave it alone. Move on. Let's talk about other cases that need attention, that have answers or that have questions that have not been answered. We need to focus on that, make people more aware.
I agree. I mean, I can only speak for me. I think a lot of us had to do it. It was new. Like me, it was new to me because of the documentary. So I came on, I started talking. Then, people talked me into doing a channel. I said, okay, and it was fun. But I agree with you because I've only been doing this for 2 months, maybe less. And I'm already at the point where I'm going.
You're doing very well for only doing it for 2 months, man. I mean, it took me 2 years to get to where I'm at right now with this channel.
I don't know what happened. I started my channel. And
well, you started talking about Watts. That's what happened.
Well,
you started talking about Watts.
I started talking about Watts. And I woke up. I did my first live the next day. I woke up and I had like 3,000 subscribers overnight. And I'm like, what the heck? Is this real? But now
the algorithm.
Yeah, but it's slow. It's totally.
I mean, the community could really use a voice like yours and a somebody with the education you have. The community could really use someone like you to talk about cases that are open right now, that are going to trial. Think of it as a request. I mean, there's a lot of cases going on right now that I would love to hear your point of view on. Such as, I mean, the Brittany Gosney case right now. She's on trial. And I mean the Gannon Stock case. That's a hell of a thing right now.
I've been trying to get up on that one. The Daybell one is something that's just got my mind. That is so hard to frickin'
I couldn't even wrap my head around it forever. It was too complicated. There was too many. It was crazy. Now I've got it. Now I've got it all kind of. but it's a good thing that finally there's murder charges brought on them. So that tells me that the prosecution feels like they can prove it. Right. And man, that's a hell of a thing. Finally, that there's murder charges. This whole time we're sitting there thinking, well, these people are going to get away with murder. We know they did it. They didn't even try to hide it. They were just like
Morphew too. Same thing. It took a while. That case has got me. That's an emotional one too. The Barry Morphew, Susan Morphew.
Suzanne Morphew,
God, that poor woman and those. I heard you talking about it, I think last night. And I'm like, yes, those. I love how you stuck up for the girls because I grew up with a scumbag dad. My dad was a politician. He was in and out of newspaper. He got in trouble, was in and out of jail my whole life. And when I got into politics, I have the junior name, so we have the same name. And people expected me to somehow, denounce my father or to say I didn't love him or to call him a scumbag like I did you. But that's just two guys talking. But I always resented that people expected me to not love my father or to denounce him. You know what I mean? And we can't do that to those girls. We have no idea what's going on. They are shocked. They lost their mother, about to lose their father. And I just get really mad when I see people judging the girls.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mr. Nut said he's exhausted. He's going to go to bed. Good night, man. It's always a pleasure to have you. Just, hey, stick around, homie. Don't be a stranger, please. I love that you've been coming around, man. It really lifts me up. Like, really does. It really does. So,
yeah, I'm glad I got a chance to kind of meet you too, Mr. Nut. I'm going to make sure I subscribe as soon as I get off this.
Yeah, one of these days you'll be on panel with me and Mr. Nut. He's a good dude. But yeah, man. Have a good night. What's he saying here? The Glare. Hey, brother, have a great night. One love to everyone. If you are on tomorrow, I'll jump on the live. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow, man. Maybe I will. Let's see what Aaron's saying here. Oh my God, that's where I know you from. Just there. I forgot about all that shit. That must have been hard on you growing up. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, so she knows you.
Yeah. It was tough. Oh, she must know who I. Does she know? Do you know? Wait, are you from upstate New York, Aaron? Maybe you know who I am.
I think she is. Yeah, I think she is, and she knows of you. Oh yeah, guys. Guys.
Oh, Dave's asking for the link.
Oh yeah,
yes,
here.
Come
Let
through.
me. All right, just Larry's going to be your show for a minute.
Oh boy.
Be right back.
I'm gonna put it on You Mad Bro.
For why?
I don't know. I'm a deer in headlights. I don't know what to say. Oh, Aaron, you live in Yorkville. Awesome. I live right next door to you, because I actually bought my house. I grew up in Utica, but we bought our house 2 years ago in Whitesboro.
Night, Mr. Sexy Nut. That's funny.
What a small world, Yorkville. My gosh, literally, that's right next door. Like, I could almost throw a baseball to Aaron's house from here, probably.
Are you that good with your aim, though?
Pretty good. I don't know. I'm getting old, but yeah, I'm a little rusty. Probably. Oh, she grew up in North Utica. Okay, good. Yeah, we lived on Deerfield Drive East, right near JFK High School. Well, it used to be high school, but middle school now. Wow, how close? What a small world.
I think that we have to wait for Will to add him with us.
That's what I was just going to think. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm waiting for Dave.
And I'm like, where's Dad? Is he ducking us?
No, he's probably backstage. Jeremy again. My God, Jeremy, hire me. I don't know what you do for a living, but you are a rock star.
G'day, everyone.
Ah, there he is.
Hello.
G'day. I'm in the Watts basement.
We call Dave Wombat, so I just want to introduce everybody to Wombat. I made that nickname for him. He doesn't like it, but it's stuck for months now.
Apparently.
Welcome over, Dave. What's going on? Y'all finished with work?
Finished work. Yeah, I'm going live in half an hour. So I just thought I'd pop on and say g'day. And g'day, the Galera. How are you? G'day.
Yeah, man.
Well, he's in the Watts basement right now.
He's wow.
That is crazy. I didn't even notice that.
I'm trying to decide if I like you right now.
Some crazy shit happened in here. I can assure you of that.
So what brings you what brings you on my channel, man? Like, how'd you hear about me?
I don't know. I just was in the car and I just clicked YouTube on my phone as I was driving down the road, and then at the top of my feed was you.
Word.
We're live. So I don't know why.
Check me out at the top of Dave's feed.
Then I clicked on it and I thought, oh my God, there he is. He's on the bloody panel. He's just a panel hopper. Oh, Larry, look at him.
Yeah. Well, I in his defense, I invited him up.
Okay.
I have told you, Dave,
I
to
personally
check out.
requested that he
I've been
joins.
telling you for a while to check out the glare, but you're stuck. You're over there, stuck on that Watts Island, man.
Man, yeah.
I'm fine. I'm quite happy to leave.
Get off of there, man. Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on. Get off of there.
Right.
So where are you at on Watts? Where do you think Nicole Kessinger had something to do with it?
Yeah, plus some.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
NK, her daddy. You've got NK, her daddy, Jimbo. You've got Troy, and you've got Cody.
So why don't you think any of them have been arrested?
Because they just went with the narrative. Chris confessed to killing his wife, so they just thought, well, we'll just shut it down as soon as possible.
That's a hell of a narrative, though. I mean, he confessed. You know what I mean?
He confessed to killing his wife.
He confessed to killing his wife, and then he confessed to killing his kids in detail.
He pled guilty.
Right. But he confessed to killing his kids, too. He did.
No, he did that in Wisconsin. He didn't do that at the time of.
But you just said that he did, though. He did confess to killing his kids. Whether he did it then or whether he did it later, it doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't it stand to reason that when somebody confesses to doing something once they've already been caught and put away, that there's truth to it?
But his story has changed several times, so
I'm sure his story has changed several times.
We don't actually know.
Is it so crazy to think that somebody who would be capable of murder would be capable of lying?
Oh,
pathologically?
Yeah. Absolutely, without a doubt.
And all that jail time.
Yeah, I mean, but the way it actually looks, I'm sorry. The way it looks is he has actually become a patsy in the whole thing, more so than anything. And I believe he's definitely belongs where he is because there was some form of premeditation.
Oh, I agree with that.
Without a doubt. Okay,
I agree with that.
But the timeline of events don't actually match up with any of the story that he's actually given. He didn't have the time on the Monday morning at all to do this on his own. Not a chance in this world. He had 45 minutes total out of the 95 minutes that he was there on Monday morning out at Survey. And the reason I say he only had 45 minutes, the rest of the time he was actually on the phone taking photos or sending text messages is what he was actually doing in those other 45 odd minutes. So for the 45 minutes, he had to dig a hole, take the two children up the stairs twice. Well,
a very shallow hole.
Well, it was 27 inches deep. So I don't know if that's shallow, but 27 inches deep is, I think, deep, and it's fairly deep. Her body, the butt end of her body was 8 inches below the surface of the dirt. So, but it was actually, she was head first with a bum in the air. It's actually quite a horrific way to be buried. And then it looks like there's an ass print sitting on top of the actual grave site, like someone sat on her after she was actually buried. So there's lots of things there that apparently it rained in Roggan on the Tuesday night. So the sheet that was actually left out there at the site was bone dry, whereas the underside of it should have been wet, without a doubt. The gravesite itself should have been flattened out, not look like it's just been smoothed over with someone's feet to bury the body. And the vomit, the so-called vomit, would have been washed away as at the bottom of the stairs had it rained, right? But because I believe
what about
everybody was transported out there on Tuesday night / into Wednesday morning.
What about the sheet that was found in the garbage can in the kitchen?
That one matched the sheet that was actually... Oh, the sheet was in the garbage can. Well, I believe somebody got interrupted whilst they were cleaning. And that would be NK. was cleaning that house. She actually managed to put a sheet on the main bed at the time, a new sheet, and there was a whole.
Why do something so careless, like put a sheet in a garbage can like that?
Because she was interrupted by
if she did everything else so perfect and she covered everything else up so well, why that slip up? That doesn't make sense.
To frame him, as was the Battery lyrics.
To frame it. So you believe he was framed?
I believe he was framed for the actual murders themselves. You could laugh at me all you like, but I've gone through this in absolute detail. Like you, a lot of people do think I'm a bit nuts, but
I don't think you're nuts.
I've got a growing following of supporters that actually are pretty much on board with where I'm at with it.
I'm sure there's a whole lot of people in this community who just won't let this case go.
Yes.
So, but I'm of the opinion that you can take anything, right? You could take, when you have access to a discovery with that much content in it, you can actually, your mind's gonna race. You know what I mean? There's plenty of stuff to make more out of something than it really actually is. I feel like it's just people are looking for anything to just continue talking about this case. That's how it's that simple to me. It's that simple, that it's just people convincing themselves that there's more to this than there really is in order to talk about it. I remember I was neck deep in the Watts case when it first happened. I was an admin of a very large Facebook group, and I followed this case and debated with people and I don't want to say I defended Chris Watts. I did defend him in the sense that all we had were those videos. Now I'm talking about before he confessed, before he pled guilty, right? All we had were the videos that Shanann was very public with and blasted all over social media, right? And in those videos, I saw a man who loved his kids. I saw a man who loved his family. And so I think that's actually the root of what really makes this case so something that people won't let go of, because it doesn't make sense. Nobody can make sense of his actions. How can you do that to your family when you seem to, in the public, be very loving of them? And I don't buy into the
cucumber.
And I don't buy into the whole narcissist thing. I really don't. I think that word, I got sick of that word when that case was open. Yes. Everybody kept throwing that word around and calling him a narcissist. And I'm like, I don't see him as a narcissist. You know what I mean? And people made channels talking about narcissism because of Chris Watts. It's crazy what has taken place based on this. And Renee, I love that you just said that real quick. I got to put that up. Occam's razor. The Occam's razor dictates that something along the lines that the simplest explanation is probably the most accurate one. It's probably the correct one. And I believe that he just did it. I believe that Chris Watts was this is my opinion. Okay. And it's very different than yours.
No, but the thing is, I'm very respectful of anyone's opinion. Sure, so I've got absolutely no drama. And this is my opinion.
No, bro. No, I'm just happy to have a discussion with you about it. I'm not here to humiliate you. I'm not here to
absolutely
at all. But I believe that Chris Watts was someone who was a mama's boy. You look at the dynamic between Cindy Watts and Shanann, they seem to always have a weird competition, and the root of that competition was who was more of a provider for Chris Watts's needs, right? They seem to always have this competition between them for that. And I think that he took advantage of that. And I think that he saw in NK someone who could meet his sexual needs, and he still manipulated her into being someone to do things for him. She was the one seeking an apartment for him, according to her. She was the one doing all of the stuff that he would expect Shanann to do if she was in the position that NK was, right? So he became dependent on her. And I believe that what he did was he killed his family to be with her, and use the idea of them being missing as something to gain sympathy from her, and have her there and go, oh my God, your family's missing. You can't be alone. I need to be there for you. And he wanted to take advantage of that. That's what I believe. And that's what I believe his motive was, period. And something so stupid, just get a divorce, dude. Just leave your wife.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just leave. So no, I do not believe he was framed in any way. I do not believe that NK shows. I don't think that she even showed enough of an interest in him to go to those lengths to murder his family, or especially frame him. I can almost understand someone believing that they did it together and he's covering for her, but not that there was this elaborate frame up. There was another creator that used to talk about this and say the same things that you're saying. Her name was, oh God, Mary Marlowe. Her name was Mary Marlowe. Mary Marlowe basically canceled herself. She went totally off the rails. And she basically had the same theory. She basically, had there was some conspiracy from the oil company that he worked for, and there was all kinds of, there was all this conspiracy to frame Chris Watts for killing his family. But what's the motive? I mean, that's what I want to know. What's the motive for NK killing his family and framing him for it?
I didn't say she killed them. I said she was part of a framing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say this.
So what's the motive? What's
Larry,
the motive for it?
Larry will fill you in on this bit.
Well, I'm not going to say, because I've already said, Dave, I'm trying to parlay away from this case, because right now the most interesting part of it all to me is actually the only part that interests me anymore is the drama on the freaking stupid island. But other than that, the actual case, I started off with a theory, and it was basically, I don't know if Will's heard this. So the reason I even went down this rabbit hole in the first place is I watched the documentary. I had a friend of mine I grew up with that was an intern and worked down there for the county at the time of this investigation. So I was talking on the phone with him, and I told him about the documentary, and I go, "Didn't you work down there?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we worked, that cave very close." He said there was a ton of, and he started mentioning there was a ton of corruption and things going on. And he mentioned a few things to me that just stuck out. And at this point, because that documentary didn't focus a lot on the mistress or NK, but he goes, we were working on the assumption at that time. He goes that, we pretty much had her at that house that morning. And all of a sudden, the DA had a meeting with the congressman and someone from Anadarko. They came in and they shut everything down, said, everybody shut up. So I'm going, what? And I'm like, and I didn't buy it. I go, that sounds a little far-fetched, whatever. So I dug down the rabbit hole of the YouTube
I could be wrong about this, but isn't she the daughter of somebody very powerful in Anadarko?
No, that was all below. Everyone's saying that her father's this powerful guy. No, he's just some.
No, yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
just something I heard.
There's a lot of. I've gone down. So basically, I started digging down the rabbit hole. And the only thing I said, I came in with my theory of the cover-up, because It sounded to me that this was Anadarko was going through a $40 billion bid war between Chevron and Occidental at the time this happened. They also were still getting bad press about the
why kill Chris Watts or why frame Chris Watts?
That's what I'm getting at.
Why murder? Why murder
I'm not
a
saying
woman
they
and
did.
2 kids?
No, I'm not saying they did.
That's what I'm saying.
Nor was that. I'm not saying they did. Nor was that my.
That's why I'm asking Dave. What is the motive?
The motive, if there was, is the potential explosion. Okay, that could have taken place, and that involves Shanann and the 2 girls somehow being in the white Lexus that could not be had and got hold of that morning because NA came over to the house. And the potential is Shanann goes out there to confront Chris with all this bullshit, and she is blown to smithereens, as are the kids. And I think Chris pulled out of the whole thing on the Saturday night at the Lazy Dog. When I
Say that one more time. Say that one more time and explain it to me like I'm stupid.
Okay. Chris, right, let's just say there's a plan in place to, if there's a wrongful death out at Survey, which there had been in the past, there had been explosions at Survey sites, or Anadarko sites, where they had to pay out X amount of dollars. There was one that they were still trying to settle from 2017. I think it was 2015 or 2017, whatever it was. There was actually an explosion. So if Shanann, Bella, and Cece are out there they may well have already been passed, obviously, but if they are out there in the white Lexus, okay, and they've gone out to give Chris his lunch, well, she goes out there to confront Chris, and there's potential that there was an explosion to actually take place at that site, and somebody would have to trigger that explosion to actually occur. And that way you would get wrongful death, right? And Chris and NK could live happily ever after with X amount of dollars coming from Anadarko for wrongful death.
Why not?
But I believe Chris went, no, he's not going to do it. On the Saturday night
that's
at the Lazy Dog.
That's so weak. That's weak. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. It just is to me. Like, I just don't see. Okay, so you're saying that they would have been witness to an explosion that's not supposed to take place within that company, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because the site itself was actually decommissioned. So they weren't actually producing oil from that actual site anymore. Right? It was to be shut down. Totally.
And you're saying that
demolished.
That Shanann and the kids were witness to this.
No, I'm saying that Shanann and the kids were going to be placed out there dead, sadly.
So why not just do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just blow them up?
But they ended up out there. They ended up out there,
and there was no explosion. So
correct. Okay, but if there was an explosion, it would have been that being the cause of their deaths, as in the explosion, as opposed to
which I'll add to that. I've gone the gamut of these theories, and I've been full-fledged at one time on that explosion theory myself. It's very complicated to do here, but what the Glitter is asking right now, I think, is where I ultimately left it, because if they were going to do that, why wouldn't they, like Will just said, why wouldn't they have just
blown them up?
The more I thought about it, why would they bury her anyways? They would have just put her in the car, drove her Lexus out there, and done it that morning, and pretended they got in a fight. She followed them out there.
Why is Chris Watts completely silent about this?
Why is everybody else completely silent about this?
No, that's not what I'm asking. If he was framed the way that you're implying that he was, or saying that he was, if he was framed, then why isn't this one of his many wild stories that he tells people like Cheryl and Cadle or God knows who?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's threats. There has to be threats out there somewhere.
Come on,
his.
man. I mean, he's in prison, dude. Like,
I'm
he has
talking about
nothing
his
to
family.
lose.
I'm talking about the rest of his family.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, why, dude? The first thing that I'm going to do, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing that I'm going to do when something like that is a thing, I'm going to be very public about it. Being very public about it, being very open about it, talking to the press and saying, this is what happened. If I'm Cindy Watts, if I'm Ronnie Watts, I'm going, the public needs to know. If I have this much coverage, if I have this much coverage, I'm going to be very public and go, if anything happens to me, it's because this happened. These people are behind this. I don't care if I sound crazy.
With that.
Why wouldn't they do that?
That's their best defense. And that's why ultimately I just want to sum up, because I'm on the panel with it. And I did just go on a panel recently where I said, I actually apologized to the family and for even covering it, but I was new and I did my gamut of everything. I'm back to my original theory. Chris did it all. He killed his family. He did everything he did. The only thing I have questions about,
and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. People just don't accept the fact that what makes sense doesn't make very much sense. If that makes any sense.
it makes sense.
People don't want to accept the fact that the guy just did something absolutely senseless and stupid, and he was bad about it. I mean, he might as well have left a trail of Reese's Pieces like E.T., for law enforcement. I mean, it's an open and shut case, in my opinion. It really is. I mean, I get that. I get that.
But why would he take his kids and Shanann out there on the Monday morning in a GPS tracked vehicle?
Because he's a moron.
Bury them.
Because he's a jackass.
Put them in the tanks.
Because he's an idiot.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why would he just drive out there?
I know it's hard to accept that somebody could be that stupid.
Else?
I know it's hard to accept that somebody could be that stupid, but Chris Watts is that stupid. He is.
He did do it. We know he was in the house at 1:48. We know he left the house at 5:17 in his truck, and we see him pick up the girl. We see him pick up Bella and put her in the truck. He killed the family. My only question remaining, and I'm not gonna keep making videos. My only question remaining is I do think that NK knew more after the fact and was at the house after the fact. That's why the ping was there to help clean the house. But otherwise, unless law enforcement wants to do something about it, we need to let the family rest. That's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, like I've had personal interactions with someone on the Ruchek side of the family. And like I would even almost consider him a friend. I'm not going to say that we're friends because we don't stay in touch that often, but when we actually do converse, he's a very, very deep person. He's a very cool person. And I feel bad for him. And he wants peace, but he also wants justice for his family. And he wants he's seeing what he's doing is he's giving into all the hatred. There's a lot of people out there that trash talk Shanann.
Now I'm not one of them.
And he's seeing. I know you're not. Well, I mean, I don't know, but I see that now. As we're talking, I'm actually enjoying you being here, and I apologize if I'm coming off like I'm
no, not at all. I'm enjoying it. It's a different conversation for me to have. I can assure you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually enjoying this discussion because I've never actually had a one-on-one conversation with somebody who has the opinions or theories that you do. So it's fascinating to me. But thank you, Shimmer Soul. But yeah, there's just there's just nothing about that makes any like sense to me, because I'm always going to ask why. I'm always going to ask the why, and I truly believe that Chris Watts just simply he could take apart and put together an engine, but when it comes to certain things that certain simple things, like, I mean,
common sense.
He absolutely lacks it. So it's not unbelievable in the slightest bit to me that he was just terrible at committing this crime and trying to get away with it. You know, he sucks at it. You know, this is not a master criminal in the slightest bit. And it's so sloppily done that I can see how somebody would be like, well, nobody's that stupid. Somebody had to frame him. You know what I mean? Like, yes. But I'm sorry. I think Chris Watts is absolutely that stupid. I do. I always have. And what's funny is I believed that he was guilty before when I looked at him, but I defended him because what happened was
saw them videos of him as
right. All those videos. This is what happened in that Facebook group. Is I used to defend the fact that I would say, you have no evidence. You don't know anything. And what we're seeing in these videos reinforces what he said in his first confession in that very lazily arrest affidavit that took place that we had in the beginning. Very, very short, small arrest affidavit where they were like, well, he says he killed her and because he caught her killing the kids. That's basically all it said, right? And I remember talking to people and they're going, oh my God, he's a monster, he's a murderer, he's a narcissist, and he should burn in hell and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here going, well, I mean, there's nothing to indicate yet that he's not telling the truth. You know, I mean, I was entertaining the idea that Shanann could have been capable of that. I did. I absolutely entertained it. But I did it for the sake of sending the message that we don't have proof that could be true. I don't believe it, but I wouldn't say that I didn't believe it at the time. But I didn't believe it. I believed he was 100% guilty. I saw he was lying in the television interview. I mean, that right there tells you everything. He was speaking. He told you everything in that television interview when he was saying, I just want him back. He's standing there with his arms crossed and he's going, I just want him back. I just want him back, you know? And at the same time, he's talking about Bella and Celeste in a past tense, like they're dead. You know, he straight up said, I know I'm never going to see that again. I know I'm never going to hear them talk about their, you know, cartoons that they like again. You know what I'm saying? He was saying these things. These things were clear and apparent. He and I was like, this dude totally did this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so there are a lot of other things that just tell me that the dude is guilty. Now, like I said, at the time, I was like, that's not enough to sit here and assume this guy's a murderer. It's great. I love this guy's green screens. You're fantastic.
Have a look at him. He's absolutely shitting bricks right there, isn't he?
He's totally shitting bricks. I mean, yes, look at.
I can agree with you there.
There's no doubt he's guilty.
You're helping me. Yeah, you're helping me make my point here.
I do believe. I will always believe that NK was, even if after the fact, there was way too many lies and too many craziness. There's more to the story, but I hate when people say, "Oh, Chris couldn't have done it. He did it. He did it. He's a scumbag."
Yeah, he totally did it.
He's a scumbag. He did it.
I feel like it would be, you know, when it comes to NK, my whole thing is, I feel like law enforcement would have arrested her if they had anything to arrest her on. You know what I mean? I honestly believe that. I truly, honestly believe that.
Yeah, and I think Lindsay asked them, there she was asking why they visited them in Wisconsin. I agree. I believe, and I've been told also by some connections. I mean, there is an open investigation still. Whether it's active, whether anything will ever happen, we will never know. FBI will investigate things for 20 years standing on their head. And if something happens, it does.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's why I had to apologize and say, I had to have a self-reflection moment over the last week that I've gotten to the point where I've exhausted everything. I'm not going to sit there and continuously make a video just for content. I can't do it. I got to look myself in the mirror and let whatever happens. And if there's an update, we'll get back to it. But the family doesn't want to hear anything about it anymore. And I can't do that. That's just me, though. I'm only speaking for me.
Yeah, same here. That's why I don't really talk about it. But I mean, at the same time, like, this is different. Like, I wanted to talk to Dave about this because I've never talked to somebody who had his point of view.
Dave's brilliant, by the way.
No, I can see that. I can see he's a very smart man. But this comment right here, Heather Don't Call Me Feather says, why did NK change her name when the talk of 35C came up? Maybe it had nothing to do with the talk of 35C. Maybe she changed her name because the entire internet went insane on a witch hunt after her, and all because she spread her legs to the wrong guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, why? There's no evidence to indicate that she actually had anything to do with this. Otherwise, she would have been under arrest. I listened to her interview with law enforcement. I listened to it.
I've listened plenty of times.
Right. I've listened to it. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she was telling the truth for the most part. I think that she was being dishonest about certain things because I think wasn't her father in the room when she was being interviewed?
Yeah.
So I feel like she's having to sit there in this interview and discuss.
Why was he even allowed to be there in the first place? A 30-year-old woman. And dad's in the room. That's like, seriously.
Why wouldn't that be allowed? Why wouldn't that be allowed? If that's going to make her feel more comfortable to talk, then if I'm law enforcement, I want her to be absolutely transparent. And if that's going to make her more comfortable to speak in a room, I'm going to use that as a tactic if I'm law enforcement.
But
absolutely.
Just say something here. Young Nick had his mum, okay, Nicole Atkinson.
And Daddy was playing lawyer. I agree with you, mad bro.
Okay,
Daddy
Nicole
was playing
Atkinson, lawyer. Right, was there for her son because he was a minor. Okay, which I understand. But Detective Baumhover, who interviewed young Nick and NA in that room that day, it specifically told NA that she is not allowed to answer any questions at all for young Nick. Well, we don't know if NK and her father were ever given that opportunity, ever, okay, for him not to answer any questions. But when it came to her whereabouts on Sunday, the 12th, right, Daddy, Dwayne, is the one who gives her alibi. He actually answers the question that's actually provided to NK, and Daddy interrupts and actually says, which day did we go to the museum? What right did he have to answer? He should have been kicked out of the room and should never have been in there in the first place, in my opinion. But it was absolutely despicable and disgusting that he was actually allowed to actually give her alibi for Sunday.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Dave. I am, from a legal standpoint, absolutely. I'm trying to be careful how I say this because I have promised to take a new task on this. But since I'm on the panel here, I have I share all these questions, respect all these questions. I'm going to continue. I'll always have these questions. But unfortunately, what we've seen, you saw tonight, what happened on Watts Island, that is what's going on. And that
after tonight, that's it for a while for me.
Well, what I'm saying is that's what it's turned into. And now I understand where the family's going because no matter what we do right now, we're not going to solve this on YouTube. We're causing pain to the family. And another thing.
I agree.
If you look at one thing I did, and I won't go into. I'm not going to get into the naming of which channels and all that. But me and you both, Dave, are new to this whole stuff, so we're still learning things that other people have gone through maybe 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago.
I came in
when
August
it all happened
last year, beginning of August last year.
And
I got very invested in this case.
I started around November.
I implore you guys, because I think that you're both very, very, very intelligent people. I think I can tell that you're much more educated than I am. I implore you guys. I implore you guys to focus on other cases. I mean, the Watts case. It's just like Larry said. Nothing's going to get done from it. You know what I mean? There's no crusade here for justice, because it's not going to happen anyway. I mean, let's just say everything that you're saying is true. I mean, how are you ever going to prove it? Oh. You know what I mean? Why do that to yourself?
Yeah.
And what I noticed, so why not let the family? Why not think of the family and how these things are affecting them, and actually try to get justice for other families, because there's so many other cases out there. There's familial trafficking. There's just parents murdering their own kids. There's so many other cases that are much more horrible than Watts, where these people might actually get away with it. Yeah. Over technicalities.
Brendan Dassey and Stephen Avery is my other big pet thing, and a few things are going to be coming up with that in the next few months as well. And I think I'm just going to go and start focusing a bit more on that. And
and that makes more sense to me personally, because the Stephen Avery thing now, do I think Stephen Avery's innocent? No. but the thing is that there's plenty of reason to think that he is. You know what I mean? Like, it's extremely valid. It's extremely valid to follow it and talk about it. Absolutely. But I don't think any good comes from talking about Watts anymore. I really don't. I think all it's doing at this point is causing damage, and it's bringing people. I mean, I've been talking about, I used to be, what happened was, once Watts pled guilty, I no longer became fascinated with the case. I became fascinated with the phenomenon behind it. I became fascinated with the YouTube creators that won't stop talking about it. I became fascinated with the people in chat that I mean, and it's like, and I just, NK, I think personally, I feel like, if I have to assume that she's innocent, I have to assume that, because imagine being innocent and dealing with what she's dealing with, simply because she slept with a married guy, and this married guy ended up killing his family, and then the whole freaking world became obsessed with this case. And everybody is, I mean, when people talk about, oh, well, why did she change her name? She changed her name because people are making her, out to be a murderer when there's no proof of it. People are making her out to be, I mean, and it's really because they're just mad because she slept with a married guy, when this happens all the time. I mean, it's like 50% of marriages end up in divorce, and most of the time it's because the partners are unfaithful. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a common thing, and her life is ruined over it now. You know what I mean? So I don't think that that's right. I really don't.
Yeah, well, I'm doing what I'm doing tonight. I'm just going to play Anthony Brown's interview. He was the one guy, and then that's it. I'm about to go there now. I'm late. I'm 5 minutes late for my own channel. So I'm just going to go and play an interview I've never actually heard myself before, and one of Chris's workmates. I want to hear people actually get to hear what a true, innocent, actual, very nice human being sounds like for a change. So I'm going to play Anthony's interview, and I got to head off there now because I was due there 8 minutes ago. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody for being kind to me. I've got a theory that's probably out there, but I do appreciate you giving me the chance to glare big time. And to come up here
and good work, man. You do great work. I'll be over into your show in a minute before I got to get to bed. It's 4 o'clock in the morning over here.
Yeah, well, 6 p.m.
I got to work at 8.
Okay, no worries.
It's crazy.
Hey.
But no, good job. I agree with that. I do. I just, I made it clear. I just want to move on from it because.
Yep, fair enough.
Like I said, it's just been too much. It's more drama now than it is the case. I don't even think a lot of people care about
drama.
The case anymore.
There is no case anymore. It's only drama. It really is. There is no case anymore. It's only drama. That's my issue with it. When something is only drama, I mean, nothing's going to change from it. No good is coming from it. It's just people at each other. And this has been going on for a few years now. What, 3 years?
Yeah. I mean, 3 years in August. Yes.
What I was going to say before, Will, was, because me and Dave are pretty new, one thing I did during my, week and a half here hiatus where I was just kind of wanted to step back for a bit because of the drama is I started doing something I never did. I went back and looked at a lot of creators' lives from a year and a half ago. And what blew my mind was the same people, and I'm not going to mention creators, but even some of these creators, they were even kind of bashing Shanann at one point, and they had totally different takes. And now these people have just reinvented themselves and gone the gamut and just still making content for their, I don't know if it's money or whatever, or they're just too close to the tree to see the forest. But it really opened my mind. I said, my God, I had no idea who a lot of these people were. And I'm going back and looking at year and a half old chats, and you look at the chats. I'm telling you, Dave, do what I did for a couple days and go back and look at some old lives, and it'll blow your mind. It's time. There's some good cases out there that you're a brilliant man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, guys, I mean, both you guys, I think you're both really, really great guys, and I could really use your input on some of the cases that I'm covering. I would love to, and I'll support you guys, and I'll shill your channels as much as I possibly can if I can get your insight on some cases that I really believe that YouTubers can make a difference in bringing awareness to these things that are going on in our society that the mainstream media just won't really talk about. I mean, they talk about it sort of. But, I'm sorry, but I think that familial trafficking and just period trafficking alone is a much bigger problem than COVID right now. I honestly truly believe that.
Hello, sorry, I didn't mean that. I saw Sure Jan found her way over here. She said, "Isn't it nice to be on a positive channel?" It is nice, Sure Jan. I'm loving it over here.
Wonderful.
But wonderful. And I'm glad to have you guys. I really am. But I would love to have I talking to you guys and having conversations with you guys. I'd love to have your insight on some of the cases that I've been talking about. I would love that.
Well, I came through to YouTube via Jays for Justice.
Don't get me started on her.
Right, I just want to let you know, in the background, if you ever want to get in touch with me, Seeking the Truth with Dave's Facebook page, find me. If you've got a Facebook group, find me in there. You'll be able to get hold of me and message me. You and I can have some very good conversations. I'm very sure. Okay.
Yeah. I don't fuck with Jays for Justice, man. She's bad news.
Me neither.
She's bad news, man. She's bad
Tell
news.
Me about it. Yep. Anyway, I got to head off. I'm so late for my own channel.
I'm sorry, man. Like, look at you. Like, on my channel, you're like neglecting your own channel. Go do your live.
Alrighty.
Man.
So, look.
As a matter of fact, how about everybody raid Dave's channel? Because I'm gonna get off of here now. It's been 3.5 hours. I'm gonna get off of here now. So, everybody, let's do a seeking the truth with Dave raid. Guys,
thank you so much. Thanks, Larry, buddy.
Yeah, mods, blow up his channel in the chat, please. And I know you guys have already been doing that. But just Larry, yo, thanks for joining me. I had a great conversation. This was a great conversation. I had a really good time tonight, man. Thank you guys.
Gotta go.
Me too, man. Have a great night.
All right. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. I'm really happy with the way this live went, man. I had a really good time, and yeah, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. So I love you, and I appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot that you guys really know where I'm coming from. You guys totally get where I'm coming from. You understand me. That's all I really want from my listeners. So yeah, I had a great time tonight. This is really what I needed. So thanks a lot, guys. And thanks for all your support, all the super chats, man. Jeremy M, dude, making it rain, homie. I appreciate it. All right, and I love you. We will do this again very soon, my friends. It's good to have that girl back on the team. I will talk to you guys soon.